Yo, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Keeping It Real podcast. We're back. It's been a couple weeks, but we're here, and we're here to talk about nerd culture going mainstream tonight. So tonight we have some returning guests as well as somebody new to the podcast tonight. So to my right, we have returning for the umpteenth million time. I won't let him go away. It's Neo versus Smith. Neo, how you been? What have you been up to since the last podcast?
I'm good. I have been changing. So I'm moving. So I've been packing. I just revamped all of my Halloween stream overlays. So got that going on. I started playing scary games because I'm an idiot and Halloween is my favorite time of the year. So that's where I'm at right now.
All right, awesome. And next to Neo versus Smith, we have two-time won some award for some stuff. And his name is Kenergy. Ken, what have you been up to?
What's going on? Not too much. I am enjoying October as well. I've been making YouTube videos and upgrading my camera equipment and finding deals on camera equipment that I send to you to save money.
To save money.
Production.
That's it. But he sends me the stuff that I don't know I need, and then I want to buy it. So he's not really saving me money.
I didn't need it.
It's like a coupon, you know? Like you go to the store, you buy stuff because you have a coupon, not because you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like every time you go to Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to Target all the time.
Is good.
You know, who's the dad here?
Glad,
Mr. Target.
Glad to be back.
Okay. Here's why I go to Target. The women there are a lot better to look at than they are at Walmart.
Oh my god.
Okay, fair enough.
Just saying. Just saying.
Don't say that in the interview.
Down below me, in between me and Neo, is returning again, would be Jim Mouse! Jim, how you doing? How's it going?
It's going. I'm doing all right. I'm in a sling now.
I see that.
From last time y'all see me, I got injured. But I'm able to game and do all kinds of things. I myself am also enjoying October. It just started, and just waiting to go ahead and see what kind of extra shit's gonna be going on. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. Can't wait.
Good. We're happy to have you back on the stream. Hope that you're recovering well. And new to the stream, next to Jim, would be Blue Damn D.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
Tell
us a little bit about yourself.
I moved to Texas recently from Australia. I used to be out in Australia as a Australian Twitch streamer. I'm an analyst by day, and by night sometimes I stream Dead by Daylight. Right now I'm kind of just trying to settle in and enjoy the festivities that is the October season. I'm waiting on that pumpkin spice to come through.
Oh, the pumpkin
Not
spice.
allowed here. You better drink that shit outside of the house.
Wow.
Well, welcome to the podcast. We're happy to have
Thank you.
All right. So, like I said before, tonight we're going to be talking about nerd culture going mainstream. It's something that, for me, I might be close to the oldest one here. I say close because I know that I'm not. Sorry, Neo. But growing up when I did, way back when, or just recently, because I'm so young, nerd culture was, I know, I'm lying. I'm clearly lying. Things like video games and anime and comic books were all, they were looked more down upon. I would say they were kind of almost on the upswing to being, like, not a big deal. Like, I would say Captain America and Spider-Man was, like, as mainstream as it got. And then, other than that, it was like, you're a nerd. You're getting picked on. That's what it was like in school back then. So,
You like comic
recently-
books? What a nerd.
I know comic books.
Right.
I definitely don't have a comic book collection. So now those times have changed quite a bit, and those are the kind of things that we're going to talk about tonight. My first question for you guys is what do you guys consider like nerd topics, nerd culture? And what do you consider nerd culture, and what do you more importantly, what do you think other people perceive nerdy stuff as? Who wants to go first?
Do we want to try to differentiate nerd and geek, or are we gonna try to keep them in the same thing? Because they're like not all the same thing, and they are at the same time.
They are, but yeah, I would say. I mean, you can say nerd and geek are can be different. I mean, all right. Well, we'll go with that question first, just because you brought it up, Jim. What is to you? What is a different? What is a geek? What is a nerd?
I would say like a nerd is more I guess you could say it'd be more of like a personality type. Would be a big difference between nerd and a geek. A nerd is like a little bit more of a. Excuse me if I offend anybody by saying this. If I'm wrong,
All
go ahead
offended,
and
so
say
go
it.
ahead.
100%. Thank God.
Just go ahead,
All right.
bury that hole.
I would say like a nerd is a little bit more of a closet kind of shut in kind of person on what they like and what they watch, what they game on, and other kinds of stuff. A geek is more out there and it has a bit more of a variety type of likes. Personally, I think a geek would be a lot into, of course, everybody in the gaming, PC stuff, electronic stuff like that, the anime and all that kinds of stuff. A geek would be somebody who collects Pop Funkos, figurines. You really see that more in the geek culture than you would in the nerd culture. The nerd culture, you can go ahead and see them as a lot of the gamers, the waibus, the waifus, the weebs, people who watch a lot of the Japanese and the Asian culture, so to speak.
Okay, so which one do you fit into?
I would be in both.
Oh,
I'd be in both, 100%.
he's bicultural. Oh my goodness.
By nerd, by whatever.
Bicultural.
Yeah, we're just gonna call it bicultural. Sure.
By nerdy.
Who else? Neo, what do you think?
I feel like the geek is the person that you ask for all the information on a certain subject. Like back in the day, it used to be Star Trek and Star Wars. You could ask a geek, and they just give you this plethora of knowledge for those things. But like a nerd, it's like I know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek, but I'm not going to differentiate between the two.
So you say like a geek is more into like the sci-fi kind of realm?
Well, no, just like I feel like a geek is more into having all of the information of a certain thing
Like the lore.
versus yeah.
Yeah.
I have a best friend who is like a Destiny 2 lore god. Like he knows everything, and we make fun of him because we'll do something in the game. He'll be like, "Oh, there's a piece of information over here in the lore," and I'm just like, "But if you go over there and the lore's in that ghost over there, it's just like they know their subjects that they like. They know everything they need to know about it."
Okay.
And nerds are just kind of like, "I'm here to blow stuff up."
All right. Okay. Ken, your thoughts? Nerd versus geek.
So by definition, nerd is a single-minded expert in a particular technical field, whereas geek is an unfashionable or socially inept person.
I don't know. I think
Where is that definition from?
I'm offended by
a,
both.
A little guy named Webster.
Okay. That's what I was getting into. 'Cause
Webster,
I looked it up too.
I looked. Yeah. So that's a.
I don't know.
I guess I would say like a nerd is somebody who's like kind of not socially inept, and a geek is somebody who's super passionate and can drill, like has all the information in one particular subject. That's what I would say a geek is. Like that's why there's a
Uh.
geek squad at Best Buy and not a nerd squad, because the nerd squad couldn't talk to anybody if they needed help. They'd be like, "Oh man, I don't want to talk to you." But
They
geek
they
squad, they
they
know how to
anime
do it.
glasses
You know what I mean?
every time.
So I think a nerd is somebody who lacks the social skills but is super smart, and a geek is somebody who is super smart in a particular subject and may be better at socializing.
Okay.
I can get
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Lou, your thoughts on the matter?
Well,
Seeing
I'm
as
just
you
kind of
seeing
going
as you live with a hybrid.
like with the hybrid.
He's like he's a
Oh,
lichen.
he's a lichen
He's
of
a liger.
nerdism. Yeah. I just went to Urban Dictionary to see what popular culture is saying about it.
A real
Apparently, a
dictionary.
geek. Yeah. A geek is a person who is socially excluded from a general population. Unlike nerds, geeks do not necessarily have to be smart. They often create groups among themselves and generally have these similar characteristics: lack of participation in physical sports, an interest in computer, a crude sense of humor radically different from common society, and a negative attitude toward common society. Apparently, that's a geek.
Sounds like a hipster.
That sounds like a
Right?
hipster.
Yeah.
That
I mean-
really, that sounds like a hipster.
I mean,
Somebody
they-
needs to-
I mean, a hipster is kind of a geek of IPAs and flannel.
Oh
Yeah,
Let's
my
be
and then-
honest.
Beanies.
And
A
beanies,
nerd
yeah.
is apparently someone who enjoys learning and obtaining new information in general for its own sake, often without discrimination. So it's interesting to see the differences in how, each of us perceives it, and then how society perceives it as well. I mean,
I
there's a lot in here which is like, you just beat up the nerds and the geeks too. So,
Yeah, of course. I think that, in my interpretation, and I think this has changed. I think that if you were called a nerd when I was younger, you were just you were into things that weren't the norm. You were into like the things that we talked about.
like learning.
But
and-
usually, I feel like if you were a nerd, you probably congregated with some other nerds.
Well,
Like you were social about it. Like you sought out people that had common interests to you, and you enjoyed spending time with those kind of people. And it was like your own clique. It was like you had your sports people, and then you had like your nerd people that were into whatever nerdy stuff you were in. But I feel like nerd is a broad term. I feel like for me, geek is somebody that's like, they're like specialized in a certain subject. You
Mm.
know, like you never say somebody is like a geek and then they're like a geek of everything. Well, you're a geek of computers, a geek of comic books, you're like a geek isn't all of those. Usually,
Yeah.
like a nerd will call one of their nerdy friends that's a real specialist about something, be like, dude, you're such a geek about that. You know, where it could be
Right.
Star Trek, it could be computers, it could be some sort of like and I feel like for me, it has been like some technology specialty, could be like astrophysics or something like that. To me, that person is a geek. I feel like it's more of a specialized term.
Right. So
Um,
if you're a nerd, you're kind of like the bachelor of, nerdness, and then once you graduate, you're like the geek level, which is the master degree type of thing.
Yeah, right. Once you pick your specialty, then you can be a geek. You could be the
Yeah,
anime geek
yeah.
or the comic book geek.
Yeah, or the
But
pop
you're,
vinyl geek.
I feel like all geeks are nerds, but not all nerds are geeks.
Yeah.
Well said.
You know,
Believe
There
it's
you
the
go.
Bible.
I can go then.
so but I feel like back in the day, there like if you were the cool kid, you were the jock in school. Nerds were nerds. No one really cared. Like, you know, you could be
Yeah.
a nerd or a geek, but to them, the term was interchangeable. So, but I feel like if you called somebody that thought they were a little bit nerdy a geek, they might take that as an insult.
They would get very upset about it.
You know? Don't wait, deity. No one's dying today. No one's dying, I promise. Anna, welcome to the stream. See you in the chat. Okay, so I think we've kind of established something. I don't really know if we came up with a definitive term right there. I'm just gonna say what
I mean,
said goes.
I would like to say, I would like to say that we kind of had a consensus of a geek is more of a specialized subject matter expert of a person, and a nerd is Like I said, just they're more like comic books and a little bit stuff like that. They're a little bit more broad spectrum.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. So, let's get into pull up all of my notes because I did that. I make notes. I really didn't, but I'm gonna pretend like I did.
I just have
geek.
time to note that out.
No. So, let's So, who here? Before we go to the next thing, who here thinks they're a geek at something? If we're gonna say nerd, we're all nerds.
We're all
Who's
nerds,
here?
100%.
Ken, don't even give me that face because I can think of like 3 things you're a geek of. So don't even.
The geek of coupons and great
That's it.
discounts, apparently.
Are you talking about yourself there too, Blue?
And fixing lighting.
Wow!
I'm a geek about toucan shirts.
Toucans.
Dude. Yeah. Dude, this shirt was $6 on the clearance rack at Old Navy when we were shopping for
clearance
my
rack.
son.
That's a deal right there.
Like your shirt, 2 can play
That's
at
a
this game,
deal.
Dad. I
That's
like
a
it.
deal.
Mm-hmm. 2 can play. Yep. Uh-huh.
2 can
Nice.
play at that
I
game.
nice. Yep, that's definitely a dad thing, I guess. I don't know. I saw this and I was like, yo, that's a dad shirt. I wouldn't wear it most of the time, but every once in a while, I'm just gonna have to bust that out. You know?
Yeah, man, I like it.
Thanks.
It's
thanks.
very nice. All
I
it
had another
needs is
one.
those those tropical leaves on it as well, and it would be
Those Hawaiian
yeah.
leaves,
Some like
little-
banana
Hawaiian-
leaves or palm
Hawaiian,
trees
make it
or
a full
something.
Hawaiian shirt.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh
nice.
yes, I'm a geek about video production and computers, I suppose, and phones and technology. I like a lot of cameras and phones. I'm a geek about that.
He's
Probably know way too much, but that's enough.
I would say that'll probably be a bit of mine, would be computer stuff. I'm slowly learning here and there. Not probably as much as like as other people, but not quite a bit. So, but I
Well,
mean,
so
I'm like broad spectrum about like multiple
mean,
things.
how about all those
Multiple
figurines
geek
behind
stuff.
you? Are
Yeah, I mean,
geek
you
about
got a
that?
wall full of Funkos, but yeah, I like computers.
She bought these for me.
Oh, because you hate them,
okay. So
right?
She bought
Wait,
some,
are
and
you
then
guys in the
next thing
same room in the same house?
He's right there.
Okay, all right.
We're actually together. Yeah, we're engaged.
They
Oh,
just
congratulations.
congratulations. They just got
Yay.
engaged. Everybody,
Oh my
let's get some hype in the
goodness.
chat for
All
Jim
right,
and
so how'd
Blue.
you
I
get-
was gonna
how'd
wait
you
till
get-
later to talk to
We'll
that,
wait
but
till
like
later to
we're
talk
going
about that.
there.
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
yeah,
had
so-
300 of those things back in Sydney.
What?
Yeah,
Funko
I had a
Pops?
problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now he's got the problem. It's great.
She
Like,
bought
it's
me
just-
some. Then next thing I know, I'm dropping $400 or $500 on Funkos out of nowhere.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's a Funko right here. I don't know if you can see it in my case, but it's a Funko right there.
I
In
can
your
see it, yeah.
case?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the Wraith Amazon limited edition Wraith.
I got that one
Nice.
back there.
Yeah, and I have all the Apex Legends up here, but that's the only Funcos I have. Only Apex Legends.
Well,
Nah,
we can
see,
save
I
that
got-
for the Funko podcast.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah. There's nothing to derail left. It's about to go away.
I know where we're going. It was just like, hey, check out this one. I got it on the shelf up here. Oh yeah, check out this one. This is sweet.
We're just geeking out. What a nerd.
Like I said, there might be some Funko geeks here.
Yeah, so I'm slowly learning. I got we'll talk about that one later on. I have one.
You guys can.
Neil
I'll give you a little
Smith.
Funko channel in Discord. You guys can go ham.
What's your geek thing, Neo? I would say the Matrix, but
Marvel.
So- well, yeah. Pretty much anything. Like I like to collect old toys. Like if I had it as a toy, like if I had the toy as a kid and they updated it, I want to go get it. Cuz usually like my parents hung on to a lot of my old stuff. So I have like the new one and the old one. I usually put them together. Like I've got Power Ranger stuff up there that are in boxes
Nice.
because they came out with new stuff, but I have the old stuff in a tote somewhere because
How many totes
Moving is
of
fun.
old toys do you have? Or old toys and or collectibles?
You know what? He's probably saving those just for a rainy day. He's like, well, you know what? I don't want to work for the rest of my life. Here goes about $300,000 worth of Funkos, worth of collectibles you can buy from me.
I'd probably say like 5 bins
Totes?
full. Yeah,
Wow.
totes.
Nice.
Because like,
Where's all your NASCAR collectibles?
NASCAR collectibles, like Hot Wheels?
I gotta get down. They're there.
Oh,
I
wow.
see
there they
those.
Nice.
Let's see what else. I am kind of addicted to Lamax Spooky Town houses.
What are they called?
So my grandma used to do ceramics back in the day.
Ah, okay. So
And
it's
they're-
like the
I had to fix one because I broke it.
It's called Lamax. L-A-M-A?
LEMAX, and then just type in
that's
Spooky
like
Town.
those ceramic
Oh my
built those
God.
ceramic cities that people build.
Yeah,
and shit.
hang on,
You remember watching Beetlejuice? Do you remember that whenever they were making the city, the town?
Yeah.
That's what it
Right.
is. That's what
Oh,
it
these are
is.
beautiful, though. These
So
are like
this is
Yeah.
this is the one I just
So,
bought
like,
today.
Intricate. Oh
Oh,
wow.
there you go.
You buy that at Michael's?
I did because it was on sale for 50% off.
How much are those things?
Okay, so Michael's likes to do this thing, and it drives me bananas. They'll put like it's not on this one, but usually it'll say like retail price $170, and then they'll put Michael's price $60. And then you go somewhere else, and it's like, this is a Midwestern thing. I think they have some in Texas. Do you know what Fleet Farm is?
No.
No.
Mhm.
Okay, it's
I'm
kind
very
of
new.
like a Sam's Club, but Fleet Farm will have them, and then it'll have the regular price on it, and it's like, why, Michaels? Don't try and make yourself feel more important by throwing your own label on there.
My mom works at Michael's, so you can get it at the sale price plus an additional 30% off.
Why didn't you tell me
There's
that
the
like
connection.
last year?
There you
All
go.
right. All right.
They're rolling out their Christmas stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
and the
gotta buy the
housing market
Christmas
is
Town stuff.
booming.
All right. So what's the next one?
All right. Well,
Oh
I
wait, we
mean,
didn't ask Blue. We didn't ask Blue.
Blue.
It's Blue's
Oh,
turn.
yeah.
My turn. You just teed it.
be
He's like,
Should be
Right?
okay.
He's
Should be
just
okay.
like
Should be
bypassing
okay.
everyone.
Should be okay. Shouldn't need to talk.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
should-
right?
Wow.
That's messed
I'm
up.
pretty close to the
That's messed up.
internet,
Short
FYI.
She's coming to take those Funkos back right now.
Well, I did have a Funko thing, so I'd say it was probably a bit of a Funko. Yeah, I have a fairly decent Lego collection of the little figurines as well. But when I sold off my main Funkos, I mean, one of them I bought for $13, and when I sold it, it was 600.
It's a good deal.
And it was Leonidas from 300 because no one wanted to buy him. It was like one of the first ones released, the Funko. I'm super into analyzing things, so anything that has the spaceship. Sorry.
Millennium
uh,
Falcon.
Yeah, marketing. I gotta say, I'm a big nerd of the marketing side of things.
Yes.
Big ass geek when it comes to that. So anything that has the potential for me to look into the extra details of something and what people are looking for, that's kind of where I go.
Like analytics?
Yeah.
Ooh, I love analytics, girl. Good.
Right?
Good.
Yeah.
I like
That's where you
segmenting
find all the
data.
good discounts.
Yeah, Ken loves numbers.
I just like analytics. It's like I can't do math for my life, but I can segment data
Yes.
pretty well. I like that.
Right? Right. Data, totally different to math. Everyone's like, oh, you're no good at math. Why are you doing analytics? It's
No. You
so
give.
different. So different.
Yeah.
Give me the information after the math is done, and then I'll look at it. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I
I-
used to
I'm the
have a
person
lot
doing
of
the math.
Funkos, so I'd have to say probably Funkos. I did have a huge collection of cards for Star Trek, but that stayed with my family.
Dad,
Okay.
what you got?
Dad, what's up?
What do I have?
What's your nerd or geek part collecting?
So I actually do have about 3 totes worth of NASCAR collectibles, believe it or not.
Yeah, are these Hot Wheels or what are they? What
They're
are NASCAR
all sorts of
collectibles?
NASCAR collectibles. I actually, so when and Neo's got more houses. Oh my
dude,
god!
no.
Alchemist
Oh,
just
God,
asked
that
about
is
the Dragon
awesome.
Sword, and there it is.
Oh
There
my
it is.
God.
Dude.
There you go,
Don't
Al.
open
Well,
that.
I mean, it's just the box because it's actually up there,
Ah,
and getting that thing open is a pain in the rear end. So
So I do I
That's
did collect
awesome.
comics. When I was younger, so I have a little comic book collection. Got out of that. I do have the NASCAR collectibles. I actually, when Dale Earnhardt died, which is a big deal, and if you were a NASCAR person, Neo knows what I'm talking about. I actually have the sheet, the aluminum blanket from the newspaper that it was printed on, like the article when he died.
Wow. I think it was
Damn.
the sheet they covered the body with. I was about to say, dude, that is
no,
deep.
like it's an aluminum blanket that they
Dark.
printed the newspaper with the headlines and everything. So it's a one of a time. Like you can't. There's only one. So and I have it.
Awesome.
I know somebody in the newspaper industry. So, but yeah, so I have a couple things like that. Other than that, do I collect anything? No. Guns. I mean, that's
Okay.
probably it. I'm
What
kind
kind
of
of guns you got?
enough.
The ones that go bang.
Well,
Real
actually,
or
never.
fake? Real
What's
or
that?
fake guns? Real
What?
or fake guns?
Real guns.
Oh,
He-
nice.
have you
He has
Ken,
the
have you-
kind
have
that'll
you-
make you
have-
regret
Okay.
breaking into his house.
have you not
Does he
seen
have
his
daughters?
have you not seen
Is
his
that
his
why?
gun range streams?
What?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I seen him shoot this gun, like this assault rifle style gun. I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
but I saw him
Mhm.
shoot that. And it was like your earliest videos that you showed me, but I didn't know you
Oh
were a
yeah,
gun
and
collector.
YouTube.
He
Yeah.
does have. Dad does have the Super Troopers look going, so I'm not surprised.
Littering and
If you insult
Smoking
my
the
toucan shirt, that's the last thing.
get over here, right meow. If you don't have an AK, you aren't American.
Mm.
AK is not an American gun, Alchemist. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a Russian gun.
That's a Russian gun.
And it's also very unreliable.
Oh, so bad.
The first gun I ever got, I got as a gift in church in Arkansas.
What?
I was getting married and I didn't have my first communion and I was living in Arkansas and I had to get my sacraments from my church and my sponsor was a competitive gunslinger, like the guys who had to go from the hip to the target really fast.
Oh my god.
And when I graduated or whatever in church, he gave me a 22 in the pew. Just boom. Instead of white hat.
22 in the
That's
pew. Pew pew.
amazing.
22 in the pew.
20.
I called my
Yeah.
wife and she was like, "What in the hell?" Ah. It's all right.
I mean,
That's
technically,
interesting.
you could make somebody holy with it.
Hey.
Loved it.
Ooh,
Loved
Neo's
it.
coming in with the dad
Hey.
jokes.
That was a slam
That's
dunk.
amazing.
Yeah, so I guess that's the. I mean, I'm a big turf geek. I don't collect things, but I am. I mean, it's my job, but I'm like.
Oh, grass? Like
Yeah.
turf grass?
yeah,
Oh my
like
gosh, he's
turf,
a
grass
dad
science,
and he has
horticulture.
like get off
Hold
my
on.
lawn things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a dad,
got
and
kicked
my
out of it.
profession
Yeah.
is literally lawns.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, he done.
Jim Mouse went away.
They ruined it.
Jim Mouse.
He'll be back.
Just
Uh,
ruined the
I'll be
overlay
back.
though.
The overlay is. Wait, where?
The
What am I? Oh,
overlays.
wait, I'm
Oh,
Jim Mouse
no.
now. I'm
Hey,
Jim Mouse now.
you're Jim Mouse. Hey, hi, Jim
Oh,
Mouse.
oh, my chest.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
I was
oh,
lifting
there-
her
now
Oh,
up.
my
he's-
chest.
Sorry about that. I had to
Yeah.
go grab the dog.
Oh my gosh. Did I mess everyone around?
Hey, no, I got it. We got it.
Oh no, we're back.
Do
My
I?
bad,
No,
Dad.
I
Sorry
don't.
about-
Alchemist.
Sorry
I
about
don't.
that.
Wow, rude. He just walks off and turns off the cam.
He had enough of this turf talk.
I know, I had
That's
to
that's
had to go
my,
grab the
that's gonna be
dog.
my other
Oh
podcast.
my
Is gonna be Turf
gosh.
Talk. Turf Talk
Turf
with
talk
Dad
with
Life.
Dad
That's
Life.
amazing.
Oh, I
Is
love
that?
it.
I'm sure if I call myself Dad Life, that'll be real good about all the other dads. You know, I'll have my Dad Life logo shirt on with like grass
Yes.
underneath it. That'll be perfect. Nailed it.
The
right.
Templar has a
And-
question.
You know what?
So-
he's gonna have his own turf stuff, and it's gonna be a New Balance on it. So it's gonna
Turf they use in
guns
soccer
sticking out.
stadiums, half real grass, half fake. It's still an artificial turf.
Yeah, it's taking our jobs, right, Dad?
Yeah, taking our job. It's causes a little bit less injury than your old traditional AstroTurf, but it's still not grass. So artificial turf
Did you
still
see
artificial
that
turf.
disdain in his face? It was just like,
Yeah, and no grass
How
stains. Like,
dare
what the
you.
heck? If you can't stain your New Balances when you walk across it, it's not real grass.
That's the slogan.
Well, didn't they do that so that when people slide and stuff, their cleats and whatnot don't catch, so they don't.
Yeah, it's to break ankles and
Yeah.
everything, and knees and all that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did is they instead of dirt, they used like a if anybody ran track in high school or went to high school, period, your track probably had crushed rubber around the track.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing gets in your eye and you're done for. Get those ball things in your eye. Oh, they're awful.
oh my
So
gosh, how do you
there
get them in
is
your
types of
eye?
grass that they use in
If you're like
stadiums
sliding
that
or tackling
are,
somebody and your face
slow
rubs
grow.
against it and you're sweaty.
Oh, nice.
but it's not. Then it's if it grows, then it's real grass. There is no artificial not growing grass.
If God didn't make it in his 6 days, I don't want it.
They do have weird things like grids and stuff that they put grass into, which is not great. Still
You would have a
causes
heart
injury.
attack if you saw my grass. My grass is awful at my house. So I was bought my first house. I thought I could be, a homeowner. I went out and I put weed killer, bag ripped in certain spots, brown splotches all over my
Do you
front
need me
yard.
to come fix it for you?
You can't. It's impossible. And then I got like grass
Looks like a
thickener.
challenge
So
to
now everything
execute.
around the brown splotches are like growing this thick afro grass. It is awful. Like now that fall's here, I couldn't be happy. There's leaves. I'm just covering it.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was awful.
I'll help you in the springtime. I'm licensed in
thanks, bud.
Connecticut.
Go for it. If you listen, if you want to exercise the grass,
I'm licensed in like 4 states.
Oh,
I'll take a look at it, Templar.
okay.
All right, we're gonna go back to other geeky stuff because we're really going down the dad thing right
Grass
now.
hole.
Yeah, the grass hole of grassiness. All right.
Give me a second.
I think we talked about geeky stuff.
Continue on.
Everybody's leaving. I started talking about
She
grass, and now people are
disappeared.
gone.
It's like behind a curtain too. It's like show's over.
It is a curtain. It's a green screen curtain.
Oh, it is a.
I'm
green
in
screen.
the shady AF
Yeah.
corner over here in the sunroom, whatever they
Oh.
call it in Texas.
So do you guys?
Sunroom.
So you guys are sitting next to each other right now?
Well,
No, there's a
kinda.
window
He's
here.
got the study, and there's like a window thing.
Oh.
But that's about it.
I thought there was
Like,
one
Can you
continuous
wave to each
desk.
other, or is the curtain there?
The curtain's there. The curtain's here. I got
Yeah,
my
we would
flag
want
that I-
you wouldn't want to interfere and cross do the lighting.
Productive juices. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
'cause then
cross
Ken,
the stream.
Ken would have an aneurysm if he saw cross contamination of the lighting from the 2 studios.
Yeah, have you seen him? Look at him. He's like kind of darkish looking. I'm so white.
Mm,
The color of lighting needs to be different.
yeah, it's the white balance.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting that you guys are into the same thing. You guys have desks next to each other and all that stuff. That's awesome.
Let's get back to the.
That's
thing.
great.
We're
Oh, yeah,
about to do it. We're about to
He's-
do it again. We're about to
He
do it
doesn't like
again. Go
that
down the
sort
hole.
of thing.
There's so many
Me,
different
my wife,
things.
company,
All right,
my girlfriend.
I don't care. Go ahead.
we invited
Okay.
Liam.
Keep that to yourself.
Oh my God. So, what was some
Come here.
nerdy things? What's the nerdiest thing that you did when you were younger?
Come here.
Or geekiest, either or.
I mean, I was watching what they call the big 3 that everybody like bases a lot of the references a lot of animes now to is the Dragon Ball Z, which is like the grandfather one, Naruto and all those other ones, Bleach and all those ones. That's what I was watching.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they
How
call
young
it
we
now.
talking? What
They
age?
call them. See, I'm probably the youngest one here though. That's the thing.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my
Dad
god.
and dad
Not
likes,
gonna say.
I think 60. How old is how
I
old
just
is
got
Blue?
like 4 more gray hairs just hearing that.
33.
33?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 32, so you're older than me. And then Nia, how old are you?
36.
Okay. Oh, so it kind of goes like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
At least
yeah.
on my stream.
Yeah, on yours, not on this one.
So how young are we talking? Like what ages? Like
Yeah.
when you're
How were you?
younger?
How old were you when you started watching the animus?
I was young. I mean, I think Dragon Ball Z came out in '87. But
Yay, my
it
birth
came out.
year.
It came out in '87, and I think it started releasing in America in like '91, '92. So I was probably like 6 when I started watching anime and shit.
What was the first anime you ever watched?
Mine was Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. All right. When we get to mine, I'll tell you the first anime I ever saw, and you're gonna be like, "What?"
Dinosaurs versus meteors.
That's it, right? I probably seen
That
it.
was outside the cave, right?
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, it
Showcase.
was.
Hieroglyphic
It was outside the
comic
we
books.
we had a big screen in my cave, okay? And a VCR, okay?
All
'Cause
right.
when I started
yeah.
watching anime, it was still on video cassette.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I was watching all that.
I remember having to rewind those things. Those were terrible.
Yeah.
Get the finger-
We had the rewinder. We had the rewinder.
We had
No,
the car
I
one.
had to do it by hand.
I had to walk 2 miles to the hill for the
Did,
community.
did you have
rewinder.
like did you have like the big film spools? Like, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have cable growing up, so all I had was like those tapes and. that was
Yeah.
it.
Blue, what was the
So-
nerdiest thing you were into growing up?
I mean, we were like a kind of jock family. It's really weird.
Okay.
But dad always wanted people in the family to go to university, so we were kind of closet nerds. So
Okay.
he had a collection of basketball cards from America,
Okay.
but it was always hidden away and no one got to see it unless it was people that were into basketball
Like the
and
top
stuff like that.
basketball cards.
I'm not sure what they were. No one was allowed to see them
Oh,
except when his friends came around. So it was really weird. It was like this super secret thing. But I think it would have been I was into anime and started out with like Bleach and drawing anime in school because I was an art geek. Art nerd? Whatever. Same. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. It's accepted. We'll yes.
Yeah, we're fine. So yeah, so I drew a lot of anime like Rurouni Kenshin, Bleach. There's a whole bunch of others as well, but those are the most memorable ones.
Cool.
And
Neo?
video games. My parents actually got me into video games.
Oh, your parents got you into video games?
Yeah, the oldness.
Hate video games. Video games are the devil.
Then they started saying that, yeah.
Yeah, once you get addicted, and they're like, ooh. Neo,
Mm-hmm.
what was the nerdiest, geekiest thing you were into when you were younger?
WWF.
nice.
WWF.
Did you have little
My God.
figurines
Oh yeah,
with the ring? Did you have the ring? Oh, you're the man. I had the
it's
same thing.
it's somewhere around here. It's
Oh, they're so
somewhere.
We need to get him a hipster heartthrob action
like-
figure.
Really. I don't know. Just like when I was in high school, nobody was really into the things that I like to watch and do and draw and play video games. We would have to. I remember renting a PlayStation 1 from the video store because nobody could afford one.
Was it a blockbuster?
So yeah, no. So I come from a very small town. It was called Movies. No,
Come on
Movies
down
like the
to
canal.
How do you spell it?
movies.
Oh,
MOOVIES.
Genius.
Is
So
that the
in that
town?
town, there was PlayStation 1 rentals and cows.
Yeah. Yeah, you could rent a PlayStation from the movie store, and like that's how we played games. And then, the only reason I got into WWF is my grandpa was every Sunday night had to watch his wrestling, and I spent
His
wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah, and I
Wrestling.
spent a lot of time with my grandparents when I was younger because single mom, yada yada yada. She just pawned me off on them, and it's whatever. So like that's what I was into. And in high school, it was very hard to find friends that knew what the fuck I was talking about. Sorry, frickin' Frank.
Ken, your turn. What was your nerd thing of choice when you were younger?
Oh, I would have to say I was really into. I don't know. I was into. So I didn't have cable growing up, like I said. So I was really young, and I went to my buddy's house, friend's house, and he had cable, and we watched VH1, and it was all Michael all day, all Michael Jackson all day. That's what it was for 24 hours. So I ran home, and I got a recording VHS tape, popped it into this thing, and I recorded as much as I could on that tape, and then I went home. And for probably like 3 years, I memorized every single dance to every single video to every single song. And I was
Nice.
very, very into that for like a good part of my life.
All right.
Prove
So
it.
how many bits do we
No.
need to get you to dance?
At weddings, when I drink, I prove it. But other than
That's
that,
amazing.
yeah.
You ever
Oh,
have a
next
dance off with Rob?
podcast.
Say what?
I was asking Ken if he's ever had a dance off with our friend Rob.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna blow your mind too. You know your VHS, your Disney VHSs. You know how there was a little hole in the side of them.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that hole, right? There was a weird hole when you push them in. There was a
Yeah.
hole on the right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
called the record inhibitor. And what you have to do is you get a piece
Oh,
of
yeah.
tape and you tape over it. You could record over your Disney tapes. I
Yeah.
used to. That's how I recorded like as much as I could, and my parents were
Oh my
so mad. Lady and the Tramp gone. Aladdin gone. Everything gone. It was all Michael. Everything gone.
Oh, Michael, your
Oh,
parents
yeah.
so mad. How did your
Imagine
parents feel about
family.
MJ?
God.
I feel like sitting down and watching some Lion King. You pop it in and
Right.
It's smooth criminal, mom.
yeah, spook.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's so good.
I was
Technically, you were a smooth criminal.
Yeah. The beatings were not smooth. Annie was not okay after those
Annie
beatings.
was not okay. Oh my goodness. Mommy, are you okay? Or was Kenny, are you okay? When your parents figured it out and they
Are you
wanted to
okay?
wring your neck.
Are you okay, Kenny? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what the nerdiest thing that I was into when I was younger was I'm not sure. I don't know. Like I was into comic books, and then I grew up in a very redneck household. So like
Nice.
I spent a ton of time outside. So I would say like comic book things was like my first nerdy thing that I got into. And then I got into like kits where it was like roll your own like X-Man mutant and stuff like that, which was like borderline like tabletop gaming sort of thing. But then we just like pretended that as our characters, and I was big into just like fantasy whatever play and writing stuff and drawing comic book kind of stuff. That was like my nerd thing when I was really young. When I got a little older, I did get into anime. So my first anime that I ever watched was the original Ninja Scroll at like age
Oh my gosh.
10. That's not appropriate for a 10-year-old to watch. Let me just put it out there. Not at
Fine.
all. Not at all.
It's fine.
And then it was Robotech on VHS. The original Macross and Robotech series on VHS.
Oh
Those were my
gosh.
first animes. But like, what really like got me into like the animes that like sucked me in forever were Evangelion, Trigun,
yeah.
I have
Cowboy
all the
Bebop.
Evangelion.
Cowboy Bebop. Once Cowboy Bebop,
Oh, yeah.
still one of my favorite animes of all time. My first cosplay that I ever did was Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and then
What are you
So
being for
good.
Halloween this year?
what am I gonna do for Halloween yet? I'm not sure what we're gonna do for Halloween because I don't know what Halloween's gonna look like yet. So
Dude, Halloween doesn't look like anything. You just dress up, dude.
I know,
Yeah, right.
But like,
I know everyone's
not-
like, "Oh no, we can't trick or treat." It's like just dress up.
well,
Dude,
I
Halloween's the
went
best
all
holiday.
out. I went all out for Hayden's costume last year, which if anybody has
was
been
he?
following me for a while, they know that I did a lot of his costume construction on stream actually. And
What
I
was
did
he?
he was a drifter from Fortnite. So the drift costume from Fortnite. So I did that. I made his vest. I made the mask. You guys want to see the mask? I'll go grab it in a second.
Yeah.
You're so
He's so
go ahead.
excited. Look
You
at
want to
him.
do
He's
it?
geeking out
Yeah,
over
he's
it.
I wanna
geeking
do
out
it.
already. He wants to do it.
Dude, my dad
Go
made
ahead.
all my
Yeah.
costumes. They're amazing.
That
So-
see, I would have loved that, but my parents hated Halloween. They were like, "It's American holiday. We not celebrate."
What's your ethnicity? Because that's what accent is that?
Oh,
Hey,
that's
guys, you know, I'll be right
just
back.
my mom or my dad. Uh, my dad was Polish German. My mom was Slovak French.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And they met in America.
Oh,
Yeah.
the land of the love.
And then they
I-
moved to Australia.
You oh, it's okay. Got my love. I'm out of here.
That's exactly what happened. They were like, "Oh, peace."
Crikey.
Yeah,
Get
and
the hell outta
then
here.
then we were getting.
So what are you
attacked by
being for
everything.
Halloween? Blue.
Well, I mean, I was gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff, but I have like a buttload of onesies, and also I bought the
Ready for the
There it
special
is.
guest? There he is.
Nezuko cosplay. Hey, look at him.
Nice, dude. That's a pretty
That's
good
awesome.
mask.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's almost
That
like
is really good.
almost like I've done. it.
Stand
so
up
yeah.
straight, will ya?
I watched
He's leaning on the chair. Stand up.
Nice. Really sell that thing. Go ahead, give Daddy a twirl.
That looks hella dope.
You can come up so people can see you. You can guide him.
Oh
That
my
looks awesome,
God.
my man.
Oh,
Oh,
That's awesome.
man. That looks. What is he doing this year?
what are you gonna do for Halloween this year?
Oh, man, a few words.
He's
Oh,
gonna
I know. What, you know. Well, you just wait. And this has
Okay.
been the
Oh,
thing. And he
he's
wants
a-
me to make
right.
this, and it's so.
You better do it.
This one's gonna. It's like a little bit beyond my pay grade. Not really.
No, you're doing it.
I'm sure
I'm
there's a way to
back.
do it.
It's always a way.
He's
to do it.
trying to sort through his
Right.
giant room of collectibles. He collects Nerf
Okay.
guns.
Jim Mouse, what are you doing? You got to do
What?
something with that sling. Maybe be Tarzan, have a broken vine. Be like, oh, I fell.
I'm
amazing.
actually. I think that'll be. Wait, will that be? I think I'll have like 3 days left, 4 days left in the sling on that. I'll just still be in here. I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing for sure. I do know that we're gonna go out drinking and gonna go do painting with a twist for Halloween.
Yeah.
So I
Painting
don't
with
know.
a
I don't
twist,
know
that's
how.
cool.
I don't know how they're. I don't know how they're gonna be. What their policy is gonna be that night for
They-
costumes.
They better let people wear costumes because that's
They
what's
probably
happening.
are. Just whenever we get them all set up, we'll
You're
find
gonna get
out just what's
just
gonna
wear
be
the
done.
Bob Ross costume right in. Really get under people's skin.
Last time we went, they said that they usually have people go in with the Bob Ross outfit.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's good. That's funny.
Nia,
That's
what are you
funny.
being?
Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
That's
Very
what we're
nice.
watching tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Billy.
I'm not. I don't.
What are you gonna be, Dad? Come on, dude.
I don't know. Like,
Dad.
this is what happens. Like, I'm fully capable of going like ridiculously all out as far as costumes are concerned. And my problem is like finding the time to do it, and I procrastinate just a little bit or a lot. So I'm not
mean-
sure what I'm gonna do. I wish I didn't get old and fat, because then I would just be able to. I still have a lot of my old cosplay costumes, so I could always
Well, just use
jump in
that,
one of
man.
those.
Think of an old fat character and just be that.
Just be like, yo, I'm
Well,
retired, man.
that
I can
or-
do this.
Or you can
Yeah, be
still wear the
retired.
cosplay.
Whatever.
Yes.
Goodness, what is that?
Back now, he's in his costume.
That is awesome.
We call
Oh my
this
God.
hiding
Look,
from
he's in-
Corona.
He's in a ghillie suit.
Oh
Oh my
That's good.
Wow.
goodness.
Oh, God.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Oh my
That
god, I
is
have
so
to tell
sick.
Blue, I have to tell you a story later on about a ghillie suit costume I
Oh
saw
my
one day.
That is. Did you make that too or no?
No, that was.
Now you know this. You know this. The answer to this question. Now that's fake grass, right?
That's that's fake. That's fake grass. If anybody was
No,
wondering,
he
it's fake.
maintains it. Like it's
Yeah.
a living costume.
Yeah,
That's
it's
incredible.
a pre-made ghillie. It's not a field-made ghillie. Yeah, in case anybody was wondering. So
You didn't
I love it.
send your child into the wilderness to live 3 days on its own and make their own ghillie suit.
no,
Listen,
no,
I
no.
gotta
I
go to
didn't
the
make him
supermarket
go on a
with that
stalk
thing.
and
Right?
land his paintball on the
Mousy
target.
actually does.
Yeah. I
Alright,
love
you
it.
Say bye. Fogging up, you can't even see. All right. Bye, bud.
Bye. Have a
What
great
a-
time.
See ya.
Bye.
Wash your hands.
Yeah. Use sanitizer. Wear a mask. Oh, he's got it.
Oh, he's coming back.
Ammo shirt,
Oh, there he
got
is. Nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Can I host the podcast now?
Yeah.
Ready for it yet?
I am.
You are? All right.
How old is he now?
11?
He's 11. So you must have had him when you were what, 51?
Yeah. Yep. 51. Oh,
So
goodness.
my daughter is going as Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And
Nice.
I looked at my wife because I like to do like family stuff now. So we went as 2 pieces of toast and she was an avocado. We went as avocado toast last year. And now she's 2. So
Nice.
she likes like her own stuff. So she wants to be Belle. So I'm like, all right, my wife, babe, you got to be the Beast. And she's like, no. I'm like, I'm being Gaston. You got to be the Beast. And she's like, no. So I said, fine. So I'm going as Cobra Kai. I ordered my costume the other day. I go as Cobra Kai. And it's great. Have you seen Cobra Kai on Netflix?
I've
No.
seen.
No, not
Oh
yet.
my god, it's so good.
I
So
heard it's
anyway,
really
Cobra
good. I've seen
Kai,
like one
it's
episode.
really, really good. It's really good. So what's funny is that the sensei goes around the dojo and he goes quiet. And he says quiet really like hard, like quiet. So like I'll go around my house and if Amelia's doing something wrong, I'll go quiet. And she can't really speak that well because she's only 2. So she goes quack.
Great.
Funny.
So when I get my costume, I'm just gonna do that all day. It's gonna be great.
That's
All right.
amazing.
Quack.
So moving on back to the nerd culture, dude. We'll definitely be doing probably a sweet Halloween podcast later this month. I think. So I think it's in
Nice.
order, just like we did the Valentine's Day one. We'll have to do a little spooky podcast.
Spooky.
That means everybody that's on the podcast is gonna have to bring their own pumpkin. We're gonna carve jack-o'-lanterns on podcast.
What?
I don't know. I
Never
just
done
made
that.
that up, but it sounds pretty
Amazing.
good idea. That sounds like a
have
good idea.
I have never carved a pumpkin. Just FYI.
Neither have I. Yeah.
That sounded like a hint if I've ever heard one, Jim.
No, we already saw the pumpkins and the carvers today, and he was like, "No."
Take a lot of work.
There's better places to buy better pumpkins than at fucking Walmart.
Oh, oh
Fine.
yeah.
But those aren't
Yeah,
American.
You do have to get a good. You gotta get good quality pumpkin, especially if you never carved pumpkins
100%.
before. You gotta get a good
I
pumpkin.
know.
Feel
I know
the
where
whole
to go.
experience. All right. So, what do you guys think are some things that are maybe things that we thought are nerdy, but you're now mainstream? I know Jim talked about
Everything.
one of them.
Podcasts.
Podcasts. Yeah,
Everything.
I mean that's a good point. Podcasts were kind of like the
Podcasts were
who listens
nerdy.
to podcasts. That's just for like
Yeah.
nerds or
cares,
geeks.
dude?
Geeks. Podcasts are more for
Geeks.
Yeah,
geeks.
it's for people who are
Yeah.
listening to like lots of information that's lame.
And there, it was that they would talk about politics. They would talk about just all kinds of sorts
They
of
would just read
information,
stories. Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's yep. It would be that. It would be, of course, anime now has become very, very, very mainstream and embedded in damn near everything out there now.
I mean,
Yeah,
how
I would
many Dragon Ball Z Saiyan uniform tanks do you see at the gym?
None right now because I don't pay attention to
No.
everybody else.
Well,
Okay.
It's too small.
well,
But-
he
but
also
that,
goes to
but
like
that
a
and-
super beefcake gym. So
Nice.
Don't do that. I mean, I wear
What?
jorts when I wear jorts. You know.
yeah, you got your
Um,
hyper-colored jorts in there. Then the others are wearing like their fluoro outfits, but no one's really wearing logos or anything.
Yeah. I mean, think of all the companies out there that have all the Dragon Balls, like you said, the Dragon Ball Z stuff there. In their what's it called? In their apparel, and then you also got jujitsu too that have different gis for different characters and their masters designs, and yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's what I
feel
would
like
say.
I know there's like professional like bodybuilders or fitness people, and you'll see them like influencers on Instagram, and you'll see it. You'll see things like them with the Dragon Ball Z stuff or other nerd culture kind of things, apparel usually.
Did you know that Big Show from WWE got his own customized PlayStation 3 or 4 from Bungie for Destiny? No, PlayStation 4 for Destiny 2, I think is what it was, and they also gave him his own custom controller. He didn't compete in the Summer Slam for something that went on for the Destiny community, because like he is like that big of a fan and that big into the community. You can look that
I
up.
know that.
It's massive.
it's the
He's really big
big
into
show.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about like new animes, like what do you see? I see a lot of, especially like athletes and stuff like that. I see a lot of athletes wearing Dragon Ball Z stuff, My Hero Academia apparel, like the shirts.
Demon Slayer apparel.
Demon Slayer, like some
Yeah.
of those, especially those newer animes, like tattoos. People are getting nerd
yeah.
tattoos now.
Everywhere.
Like, tattoos used to be like, I'm a hardcore, but now it's like colorful tattoos of anime or comic book
that?
characters.
Is that a mushroom?
It's dope.
It's a one up. It's a one.
That's a what up mushroom.
That's a one up.
That's
And it's
amazing.
basically
Mario.
over my heart. So if I die, it'll disappear and I'll come back.
That's good
terrifying.
logic. I mean,
So he's talking about that. I got
was also
Shenron.
hammered.
I got Shenron right here, and I
I
got
thought that was
he's
Charizard.
no, it's Shenron, and he's a cover up for this one, for this tattoo and this tattoo, and I got like 3 more sessions to go with it to finish it up.
When are you getting your Hello Kitty tattoo?
I can get it on my ankle if you pay for it. You think I'm kidding? You think I'll get it on my
he's
foot?
not.
You pay
he'll
for it,
get
I'll do it.
I mean,
What
if
my
what
friend's an
about on your-
artist.
on your
I'll just have
forehead?
him
How
get
much
you
to
a
pay on your
complimentary Hello Kitty.
No, that's not gonna.
No?
I mean, I got. So you're talking about? Can I show my legs?
But like on his wrist.
Yeah,
Huh, Dad? Can I show?
Yeah.
Okay.
With
I
a
mean,
nice
yeah.
little Hello Kitty like right here.
let's see it.
What's that? Is that a mouse? No.
So this is
Haku.
Haku. This is Haku and Chihiro from Spirited Away.
That's awesome.
So, and then from the left, I got Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, nice.
That's
My
really cool
sister
too.
loves that movie. She's like
Pretty
obsessed.
sweet.
with it.
I think that's.
Really good.
I mean, that's a geek. I would say, even though like maybe tattooers don't want to say this, but I feel like tattoo culture could be considered a geek culture.
It could be. It's a special.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a specialty.
You know.
So how much to get a tattoo on your face of Hello Kitty?
Never.
Ever? I really want to get back
I'd-
to that.
I'd get.
$40,000
I'd get kicked out of.
$40,000.
If you will pay for everything for the rest of my life, I'll go do it.
Oh no.
I'll be kicked out of the military. So come on.
Really?
Yeah, you can't have face
You
You
know,
tattoos.
can't have
face
face
tattoos?
tattoos.
What about neck
I-
tattoos?
Think that's in the Navy.
What about neck tattoos?
That's allowed. I think in the Navy
Okay.
and the
Okay,
Marines.
Oh, what's allowed in the Air Force?
Sitting in
to know
chairs.
How close we could get to your head. Like,
he walks
I
around shirtless
can have-
everywhere. So
I can have one. I can have one tattoo on each hand.
how
That
big?
is the. It's one tattoo on each hand.
So if
One.
you got a tattoo covering the whole palm,
If it's gonna be Hello Kitty, you paying for it?
how much do you think that would be?
Are you paying? If you're paying it,
No,
come on, let's go
seriously,
do
I
it.
would
Let's go
seriously
do it.
inquire,
Let's go
how
do
much
it,
do you think that would be?
Dad. Let's
Like
go
$100
ahead and
bucks?
hit
The palm of your hand.
I don't know anything about
$100.
tattoos. I have no tattoos.
It'll
Oh.
probably be anywhere between like maybe 300, maybe 400.
You'd be hard pressed to find an artist that would do a tattoo on the palm of your hand.
No, not the palm. I want it on
Back.
top.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time he
Top,
says
yeah.
hello to somebody,
say-
it's Hello Kitty.
Oh
That's
my
what I
god,
want.
this guy's got.
Yeah, it would
ulterior
be
motives.
yeah, it would be it would probably be about 300, maybe 4.
And when he colored it white with a pink bow.
Hey, all the way.
God. If that doesn't sound like a GoFundMe, I don't know what does.
At the end of stream, we'll have a link to the GoFundMe.
That'd be
So
you gotta do it on the stream too. You gotta do it live on the stream.
I actually got my right leg tattooed. My what's it called? My Spirited Away tattoo. I actually did a stream of it. I live streamed
Oh
it.
yeah.
The first one, the first session
Wait,
of it.
Blue Dandy, how do you feel about, like, let's say hypothetically we raised $300 and he gets the tattoo? Would you want that tattoo on his hand forever?
Oh yeah,
Hello
that's
Kitty.
fine.
Yeah?
It's Hello Kitty. I love Hello Kitty.
That's so
She's
good.
adorable.
You hear that, people?
And
Viewers,
she's not.
I'm
And
looking
she's
for
not
like
wearing it.
13
I'm wearing it.
Yeah, yeah. He has to live with
13
it.
viewers, please open your wallets and your hearts, most importantly.
in your
Let's
hearts.
help get this done. Dude,
Uh,
I'd love to see it.
I actually got this tattoo the first time I came to Texas last year in July of Haku as well through his artist.
Wow.
Do you have the same artist every
Yeah.
time, Jim?
Yes. No. I've had 4 or 5 different artists throughout the
But
years.
lately, your last few have been from the same person.
My salad tattoo was done by a different person than the one that's done my Haku and the Shenron. But yeah, I'm staying with him for quite a while.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
All right. So, what are some other things that we see that are nerdy and mainstream? This is a big one that we're missing. It's related to Twitch.
Streaming, gaming?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, gaming,
I mean,
games.
even though I don't really want to talk
It's
about
gaming.
it, but I mean,
Well, I mean, it's that's kind of always been around because Super Mario would technically be considered a JRPG.
Gaze
Right.
Joe.
if you want to get like real about it, it's considered a JRPG.
okay, yeah, okay.
And that's probably one of the most mainstream games out
Yeah.
there.
A mainstream
My
game.
parents
It's,
were
it's
into
everywhere.
JRPGs.
There's toys for it. There's
Mhm.
T-shirts for it for all ages. There's Funkos for it. So yeah. But I mean, and the other thing that I'm thinking about is like, now you're finding music artists, like athletes, movie stars, are taking to gaming on like Twitch and playing with other content creators, etc. And I think that's. If you want to talk about the Ninja and Drake thing, and everyone says like that's the biggest one that pushed everything over, but I mean, there's also like Odell Beckham played with Dr. Disrespect a few days ago. Gordon Hayward. I remember the reason that I know who Dr. Disrespect is because I followed Gordon Hayward on Twitter, and he was like, "Yo, check this guy out." And Gordon Hayward, as a professional athlete, has a big influence when he says, "Hey, go check this guy out."
Yeah.
So there's athletes and celebrities. You think about some of these artists that are out there, and like Deadmau5 used to stream on Twitch, and he did a lot of different things on Twitch. But I mean, Deadmau5 is obviously, he's like a geek. He's a music geek. He's a gamer geek. He's a production geek. He doesn't count.
Yeah,
but like, there's other people like Brandon Erie of
Brandon,
Panic! At
I
the
was
Disco.
just gonna say, like, he's been
And
doing
he-
it for a while.
He's been streaming for years.
Yeah.
And bringing that culture to people. And there's other, what would you say, more like pop celebrities instead of like,
like we got
electronic
Logic
music.
that played with Ninja.
Right. Logic's
T-Pain playing
T-Pain.
with some other Fortnite streamers too.
Yep. Tim the Tatman played with Dak Prescott. Yeah. Or the fact that some of those Twitch streamers, like Tim the Tatman, got whatever, had like a status with the NFL where he's watching Thursday Night Football on Twitch.
Yep.
So like that, the culture of your nerd stuff is becoming more mainstream, and yeah, a lot of it's related to maybe some more of your popular console games right now, but I think it's not as, people don't look down on it as much as they used to. Especially, I would say, if you're under the age of like 40 to 45, I think that it's generally accepted that it's a pretty okay thing depending on where you're from.
I do think if you kind of look at the changes in mental health awareness that people have gone through over the years as well, that kind of shift has shifted, what is more acceptable, because people are more likely to no longer have that old adage and the old mentality that our parents had of, oh, don't talk about that. It's so weird. You're such a
Right.
weird child sort of thing. Now it's like, oh, you're into that? Oh, that's cool. Okay, tell me more about it. Whereas mental health as well as nerd culture sort of kind of go hand in hand, right?
Right.
Everyone's, uh, emotions didn't used to be an okay thing to express, and now people are saying, no, you actually you need to, express that and go with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the other thing too is it's a little bit more accepted. Is that like when parents are like, oh, I watch this guy play basketball or football, but he's also playing games, so maybe it's not as bad for my kid to be playing games or doing this nerdy stuff.
Right.
I think that kind of helps it a bit as well.
Oh, dude.
So what
Sorry,
we're gonna do is
I
hold
have
on.
to tell you something. Former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway announces she has tested positive for COVID-19 and is beginning quarantine process. That's all. That's the news.
That's
Just
the
to tell you.
news. The news with Kenergy.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Last time we were
Kenergy.
on stream, what's his name? Passed away. The actor from Black Panther.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the last stream.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna take about a 5-minute break here. I know you've been liking my stuff. I want my own shaker cup with a lawnmower on it. Thanks.
There you
That's
go.
amazing.
So yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about supplement companies that are making things designed for gamers. And
That
it's not
are
just
making it mainstream.
it's not just straight up gamer. There's a lot of nutrition companies that have gotten on that craze as well now.
Oh yeah.
I know. I think it's
I mean, even if you look at companies like V Energy drinks and Monster and stuff, they used to be targeted towards athletes back in the
Right.
day when they first
Red
started
Bull?
out. And now, right? And
Red
now
Bull's-
it's not necessarily athletes. Now it's like video games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've got ninja cans, and there are some of the supplement companies out there that are coming out with their own fuel or gamer fuel type products or whatever they're calling it. Mind fuel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just another way, and that's a big thing if you think about it. And I know Jim's probably more of an exception to the rule and probably has been for a longer time, but Jim, how long have you been into like fitness and bodybuilding?
I've been in fitness since I've been an athlete since I've been able to be in sports.
What'd you
But
play?
I mean, I did soccer, basketball. I did golf, and a bunch of other random sports on the side too.
Just like if it was a sport.
I did some
you
tennis and
dabbled it.
everything. I may or may not have dabbled in it. So I think done that since I was a kid. But I mean, I've been into, like, if you're talking about like weightlifting fitness since I was 16, and I hit it really hard when I was 19.
Now,
Yeah.
when you got into it, because that was long enough ago, it was the culture that surrounded that was a lot different than the culture around it today.
Oh yeah, 100%. There was all these fattish diets. There was we were actually laughing about it on the way back earlier. Herbalife was a thing.
Oh my God. Advocare.
All of that, Advocare, all of that was
Right.
big. Was the mainstream, fitness stuff, and now it's not so much. There was like, yeah, here's fitness, here's a fitness culture, here goes your nerd culture. There wasn't a big mashup of it like it is now. Of course, you had your big bodybuilders and your big lifters and all the weightlifters and powerlifters and all them, and they dabbled a bit. They showed a little bit of their nerd culture, but not like they do today.
Not
So
yet. I would say like a majority of them, and I think it was like if it's weird because like the ones that I feel like were at the top of their game or the ones that were bigger than anybody else, if they were a little bit nerdy, they felt fine to show it because they were like, who's go ahead, try to make
who's gonna
fun.
put me down?
Who's gonna
Put me down?
Yeah.
You can't. I'm at the top. But I feel like like Johnny Football, possible high school bully, on the other hand, that was like lifting so he could get swole because he wanted to go to, D1 college, he might have been like, oh, that's nerdy. I can't believe that. Like those kids that's nerds. Those are geeks. Like that's, but the funny thing is 10 years later, they might be open to that is where 10 years ago they were bullying people for being into that sort of thing. And I think that was,
I think that right there, that's a case. That's a cultural kind of thing because where I grew up, it was kind of like that, but it wasn't at the same time. Like we had of course you had your straight up jocks that are just football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and
Right.
they didn't mess with the nerds or the geeks or anything like that. Everybody was the kind of friends and not friends at the same time.
Mhm.
But then you still had your other ones that are just straight up fitness athletes like I was in the group that I hung out with. But then we were all talking about anime and video games and just like they all do that now. I mean, yeah, it's into everything now, and
Yeah.
everybody's into it.
'cause you are a little bit younger than me, a couple of years. It was not like that when so believe it or not, I actually was into sports when I was in high school. And then I played soccer for 10 years. I ended up dropping out after my freshman year, and there was none of that nerd stuff when I was in sports. Like the captains, you go to captains practices and stuff, trying to make the varsity team. Like, no, like nerd stuff was like a sign of weakness. That's the way it was when I was in school.
If it wasn't about that, it wasn't important.
Right, exactly. Is either
Try
you
being
were
in-
you were part of the team, you were athletic, you were doing track, baseball, cross country, whatever it was. Like if you didn't do a sport, you did a sport every season, and then you were like in the cool kids club. And it was like, and it was funny because if you did football or soccer, but you also did track in the spring, you were good because track was just like keeping you athletic for the real sports seasons. But
You
it's
know
funny
what?
'cause
I see. Sorry to cut you out of that. I see K's typed up in there. Says they play StarCraft and they were a nerd, but what is it? Warcraft 2? Is that what that is?
Warcraft 2.
WC2? Yeah, that's the coolest thing. So you have to. So when you talk about gaming, along with the nerd culture and the geek culture, and then with the fitness world too, you have to think about because you got everybody, all these fitness people that are like, yeah, play Call of Duty, and that's awesome.
Mhm.
It's dope as hell and everything. And then they're seeing these other people playing like some JRPGs, and they're like, that's nerdy, that's geeky, that's
Right.
dumb.
Yeah, you're playing League of Legends or playing whatever it is, and it's funny because like Fortnite is like either or, right? Like Fortnite came out and some people were like, yeah, Fortnite is an awesome game, and then sometimes
I've never
people are
been
like,
into it.
Fortnite is for kids, and it's not. I've played it, and I've played it with my son, but it's like it's not my jam, But there's athletes and stuff out there that are like think that Fortnite's the coolest. They think it's just as cool as Call of Duty. Yeah, what Kazi said is I feel like one person can influence another group of people or get more people into something. So yeah, no, I agree that makes sense. So I guess we're kind of segueing into video games and the mental aspects of that and how it affects culture. And I think a big part of it is now I would say 2020 Video game acceptance has even skyrocketed compared to 2019. Would you guys all agree?
Social
Oh, yeah.
interaction.
I
Right.
think especially with COVID, I mean, a lot of companies, especially streaming companies, were encouraging that because that's the only thing you could do with people for several months. And in Australia, I mean, that's still ongoing. They still got huge restrictions. And in New Zealand and in other countries, America is kind of the only one that's like, let's go out and party, you know? Whereas other
Mhm.
countries, Australia, they had police out on the streets asking, why are you out here? Are you going to the store? Or are you going home? Like, that's the only thing you're allowed to do.
Oh,
Maybe.
we lost Dad.
Uh-oh.
Dude, Dad.
He
Did
just said
he?
he'll be right back, and then I heard the door.
I didn't hear him.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
Bailed on his own stream.
Rude.
Sorry, I just had to check on the boy life.
Okay.
So
I mean, yeah, I have a friend. I have a friend who lives in Chile, and she was telling me that when they got 100% lockdown, they had to submit a report. They had to submit a basically like an application, a request or an application to the police of what exactly they were where they were going, when they were leaving, what they were getting, and when they'd be back home. And they had to approve it. If they didn't approve it, you weren't going anywhere.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
That's kind of why America is locked out of every country apart from 8, though.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere right now.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
and it's crazy. So right now, everything hit last March. They went to distance learning at school, and for my son, it was like he just actually started building up friends because he had moved around schools quite a bit. So it was like the first time he actually had friends at school and friends that were into the same things that he was into. And through distance learning, was able to connect with his friends and get like their gamer handles and started gaming with his friends, and that's how he had his social interaction. And that's it. For like a 10-year-old playing Fortnite or Minecraft, that was all his social interaction, which at first for him seemed great, and eventually it wasn't, because like you're 10, sometimes you just want to go run around with your friend outside and, you know, pretend you're a cowboy or army man or whatever it is, you know. But everybody in his class, pretty much when they weren't in class, were playing video games. Like that was you're not gonna go send your kid to somebody else's house to go play. I take that back. Some people did, but you know, I digress. Most people, that's how their kids played. They went from being like on Little League team to now they're playing, you know, MLB The Show on PlayStation together. You know, because that's the only way that they're getting into like interaction with each other. And I think that really helped things become a lot more accepted. As well as people just wanting to see their friends, people being forced to do video conferences for work, and then they realized, hey, this is... I know people that have been on, like, Zoom calls to drink with their friends. The
Yeah,
emergence of
I had a few
e-jocks,
friends
as
that
I
did
said.
that in Australia,
You know?
And families having dinners together. I mean, that kind of became a topic of conversation for, um, you know, my friends in online discords in other countries where they were like, "This is the only way we can have dinner now because I live in an apartment. I used to come and visit my mom or dad or whatever it is, and now you can't do that. All you can do is like have a have a tablet sitting on the table where the person would be."
I mean, we were doing movie nights and discords on Saturdays for people to come in and watch, you know, either a movie that one of us owned or pirated stuff, and you know,
Acquired. The term I like to use is acquired.
Acquired,
Acquired
acquired,
in a game of
Acquired.
sharing.
chance.
acquired sharing. But like, for what I've noticed is that it's helped Twitch come out of like the little dark gamer hole that it was in into like the main, you know, like people know what Twitch is now.
You know what's crazy? that more and more people are consuming content online, yet Mixer closed down. It's like their time to shine. Because like people that are on YouTube's like doing better than it ever has. Even like a lot of the people on Facebook Gaming said they're doing better than they've ever. Even Facebook Gaming is growing, yet Mixer shut down.
I think the biggest problem with that was the amount of money that they threw at it and the artificial growth that went into it. It was just too much too fast rather than allowing it to grow naturally a little bit as well.
Really, really poor business plan.
Oh,
Put all of their eggs in the Ninja and Shroud basket.
And look at how many followers and viewers like Ninja and Shroud lost when they left.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get your community or whatever to switch over to something new just for one person. Because everybody here probably has a whole plethora of people that they watch or they follow. And if one person leaves that list, you're not going to be like, yeah, maybe I should go, open a tab for them here, but all my friends are here,
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, people.
I mean, they. Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, go ahead. Go, Dad.
It's gonna be no.
I was gonna say if you look
Okay.
at think about like a year or two ago, and you look at the name brand streamers on Twitch, and some of them post what their sub counts were, and like a year or two ago, they were like, oh my god, I can't believe how many subscribers I have. Dude, go to those channels now. They've got 10 times as many subscribers. One, because everyone's buying everything on Amazon and have Amazon Prime, because why do you want to go to the store? And two, like, I think people are consuming more content online than they are on. I don't have cable. I don't care about cable.
Yeah.
We don't either.
I get my live sports, acquire it by means necessary when I want to watch live sports. Everything else is like Netflix, YouTube, or Twitch for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some sort of streaming service.
I think that's where a lot of companies fell through, years ago. Like when Blockbuster, the guy that started up Netflix came to Blockbuster and said, "Let's get together, and you have the product. I'll put it online, and we'll have a share in the profits." And the Blockbuster guy laughed at him and said, "That'll never happen." Where's Blockbuster now?
Rip.
It's just not diversification. Is a problem.
Bad business plans.
Yeah.
Do people still get DVDs in the mail from Netflix? Is that still a thing?
You can still.
Or has it moved?
You can.
Probably Blu-ray discs.
I remember like when it first came out, it's like, I can't wait to get that movie in the mail. And then you watched it, and then you were like, okay, I'm gonna let it sit around for a week, and you never get your other like movie because you didn't send that one back.
Oh man.
Alchemist says Redbox. Did you know Redbox tried to start like a streaming service?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
For that.
Yeah.
That fell flat in their face. But yeah,
They probably didn't have They probably didn't have Canergy or Blue to help with their marketing.
Yeah, we've got a great analytics team here in stream and chat. I mean, Kaze's job is pretty much analytics for a living as well. So, I'm just gonna get some like cool pie graphs and some spreadsheets and start posting them in Discord, just so you guys can geek out every once in a while.
That's it.
Promotional analytics. That's Kaze's thing. So I mean, that would be marketing, right?
Trying to teach people how to hashtag is nah, because you use that in formulas and Excel sheets too.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I know that one.
Don't start talking Excel. Kaze's an Excel wizard. Look at him in chat. You know how much I like that?
He's so excited.
Oh
Just
my
gasping there.
goodness.
It's great. Oh, I know. Power BI would be amazing, but most companies still don't use that.
Wow. Look at you spreadsheet analytic geeks in chat and in stream. Like, oh man. Wow. All right.
Oh my gosh, that's advanced.
So for
So-
me, since I wasn't able to be home during the crisis, I used video games as an outlet to unwind after terrible days at work. So I was playing a lot of video games too,
Yeah.
because dealing with all that stuff out there. So it's not
Mhm.
fun, but I was playing more video games after work than ever before because I was just like, I gotta get
You gotta get it
sanitized and
out
clean,
without
and then I
taking it
gotta
out on
get
your
it
family.
out of my system.
You
Yeah.
gotta get sanitized.
And I was like,
Yeah.
well, it was like sanitize, please, family time, video games until my brain is mush and I can go to sleep and then deal with everything again.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We gotta get together. I seen you play Apex. So
I'm dope. I am the best.
You.
I
Oh
know.
yeah, the best.
I'm so good.
That's a little bit facetious.
hey,
I'm so good.
is Ace gonna play with him? Is he that good?
Mm.
Ace you?
No. Yeah, Ace
No.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, Ace you.
Our
Yeah,
friend Ace.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe if Ken had enough time to didn't have a job, he probably would be as good. I think.
Dude,
Ken-
I have more than
Ken's
1,000
pretty good at
hours.
video
I'm like,
games.
I'm pretty good at it at Apex. Hayes was terrible. Is that Chikibi, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was god awful. He was so bad. He was so
K's peaked at World of Warcraft rating and CS 1.5. CS 1.5 was his peak.
yeah.
Look at
What's
you,
the- what's
you
the-
nerds just talking about analytics
Power
stuff.
BI, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
That's what my
just
chat's
talking
become.
nerd stuff right there.
Let's talk about more accepted nerd culture. How about colleges giving away scholarships for gaming
Good for them.
and having gaming
mean,
leagues?
If you look at the Asian countries, the Korea, I mean, they built a university dedicated to gaming years ago.
Right.
They have athletes coming out of that, and they're teaching them not just about the video games, not just how to be good at video games, but it is about the business and how to grow in the area as well. So it's all encompassing. They don't necessarily just let things fall off because oh it's video games blah blah blah. No, they look at it from a different perspective. They're like, this is an emerging economy, this is an emerging place where money will, this is where people will go. What can we do to make it a viable source in the future?
Mhm.
And even in Japan they started, university courses and degrees which you can go into video gaming in different areas of it.
Right. I think we're
'Cause it's
still
not just
lacking.
playing the games. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Australia
we're
and
lacking in America. Like
it's
you have
pretty good.
specific universities that do that stuff, like Full Sail and a couple other ones. But like,
UCI
it's
is
not a
doing it.
university course at most state universities of like video game production or video game marketing or anything like that. You don't have
Right.
things like programming. They all have programming, but none of them are like video game design, like coding. To write things for a database is totally different than coding a video game. They're that's quite a
I
bit
mean,
different.
the military has gaming leagues. I think when I went to PAX South, there was an army league there,
Mhm.
and I got to play against them. There's one for every single branch. They also compete in esports tournaments too, and
Yep.
so they use that to go ahead and reach out to the community too, and try to recruit people to go to be in the military.
Yeah, when Kaze and I were at PAX East this year, the U.S. Army had their team there, and they were competing in the Apex tournament that was going on.
Yeah, they were
Mhm.
doing the Mortal Kombat tournament and the Fortnite tournament. Yeah, I
Right.
was there.
Companies like Samsung have had, League of Legends and Dota teams for years. It's the craziest thing, but they've been out there. It's just not a Western concept to look
Right.
into
I
that
mean,
sort of thing.
I know there's colleges that do have League of Legends teams, and they do have a college league now, but it's like maybe 12 universities, which I think it's gonna grow eventually. But I mean, I think it's some of those gaming companies that really like brought it to colleges. They're like, we want to create this league, as opposed to these colleges being like, or the governing bodies behind the colleges creating these leagues. Like, how is there not a Call of Duty league in college? Like, let's be honest. Like, that's probably one of the more popular games that are played by college kids.
And it's still
Yeah.
ongoing. I mean, how long has it been around?
Right.
Decades, right?
Decades, right?
I'll give you your little fun fact for today. I read this a long time ago, and I didn't believe it until I actually like read the article. It says researchers have found that doctors who spend at least 3 hours a week playing video games made about 37% less mistakes in
Yep.
laparoscopic surgery and performed the task 27% faster than their counterparts who did not play video games.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be
Yeah.
this. I think that's the laparoscope. Isn't that the invasive
with the
type of
camera.
surgery?
Yeah, that's where
Okay, no.
they like poke holes and go in with cameras and
Okay, no,
Right.
yeah, that's the
Yeah, yeah.
these. Okay, a
Yeah,
little
so
full open.
They have found that people who are at risk of getting dementia and Parkinson's, if they actually play video games, it helps the brain, create new neural networks and stops them from going into that degenerative state. There's a lady who's, I think, in her 90s and she plays Skyrim every day.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's
I tell you
awesome.
this right now, if I were like laying on a table and my doctor was like, "Hey, did you see that sick cod kill I had last night? That was you. Now we're gonna take care of your arm."
Yeah, when he's walking and you have like some of your merch on, and he's like, "Oh, Never
I got your
Smith.
ass.
Yeah.
This is
Didn't I snipe
He's
you in
like
the face?
as he's putting you to sleep, he just whispers in your ear like, "Doctor Doom 69 destroys you." And then you're just like, then you're like, "No, it was
Sorry.
him. He killed me 4 matches in a row."
Sorry about the teabag.
Yeah. On your way to sleep, he's like, "I can
Yeah,
just teabag you all
like,
I
that's-
want."
That's the last thing that you hear is sorry about the teabag. Count down. I need you to count down from 1 to 100. I usually get to woo.
Yeah, I had I had college professors that played World of Warcraft.
I mean,
They're-
if anyone's interested, the UCI, University of California, actually started an entire faculty dedicated to esports. That was
Wow.
at the start of this year. That's kind of why I came over here too.
Yeah, that was the district this year.
Yeah. I mean I think those are important things, and I think that just shows you how far things have come and like where they're going to be in 5 years. And back to like the Korea thing. Like Koreans were playing like Ragnarok and stuff like
StarCraft
it was a
too.
family event. And StarCraft. StarCraft for Korea was like
And
board
stadiums.
games for everywhere else in the world.
They
You
were
know?
they were in stadiums and everything, like for the tournaments.
Right,
They're
but it was like a
crazy.
family game. Like little Johnny played, and mom and dad also played StarCraft. Like they played as a family. Like everybody, it was a household thing, and that's 20 years ago. You know,
I mean, it's the
prestigious and
strategy.
competitive because those cultures are super competitive. And you know, if you, it's a mind thing. So you can do well in school, but it puts you on an even playing field. Like as long as you can click a mouse, especially at those type of games, if you have a super intelligent brain, then right, you play to win. Kaze plays to win. They're you know, second place is first loser. And it's
Second
Oh my gosh.
place is first loser.
and it's a family, it's a pride thing. The families take pride in that. You know, if their child is like doing well at anything, it's a win is a win. I would say, right, Kaze? As long as you're number one, like if you're gonna do anything, you got to be the best. His dad wants his transcript so he can send it to his students and show them all the A's.
Wow.
Yeah, your dad is very he definitely has a ridiculous amount of hubris. So, yeah, I believe it. Here's another thing we can talk about. Like, think about in the last 10 years, all of the movies that we've seen.
Even further than that, like Revenge of the Nerds, that was kind of a big thing that started.
Yeah,
know,
that was
looking at
that was a
nerd-
popular thing. Yeah, I mean, then you started to see things trend more and more, like, you
and
know,
Breakfast Club.
Wasn't
Right.
there a line in Revenge of the Nerds that said one day nerds will rule?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
it's happened. Like
Right.
we're to that point.
Right. There's some interesting things online that we'll talk about in a little bit too. But I mean, you look at movies now. All of those nerdy things from when you were kids are movies now, and they're popular movies, and everybody loves them. Right? Look at the Marvel movies, the DC movies, Transformers.
Yeah.
No
So
one
all those
admitted.
people that made fun of me for bringing Spider-Man merch home from when I worked at Burger King, I had this banner. It was like the size of my apartment because it was a small apartment, but it was huge. And everybody's like, "That's for children. That's for children." And now it's like, I see you wearing that Spider-Man shirt over there. I see
Right.
you.
Right. Or the Captain America stuff, or Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Right.
I mean, like, you look at that stuff and it's huge, right? I mean,
Especially, yeah, the last few movies really made those characters more human, which made them more relatable, right? Like Thor Ragnarok, that movie, where it was just like Thor doesn't know what he's doing. He's having a crisis right now,
No, and he
you know.
was fat.
mhm. Ken, any thoughts
I
on the
think
matter?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's personally, I think our culture has shifted to stop being so isolating and be more accepting. So although it might be popular, maybe it's popular because people are more accepting because it's cool to be accepting instead of a jerk.
right.
So maybe that helped.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
think
easy to
that's
be a
a
jerk.
good take.
eat a piece of cake to be a jerk, but to be
Right.
accepting, now that takes work. So
I want to let you know she was attacking me with that comment right there. That's
Which
what
one?
she did. It's being a jerk. She was
Oh.
talking about me right there. That's
No, but
exactly
like,
what she was
come
doing.
on, like we all have to accept each other. Everyone's different. So if you like Spider-Man or you like big Burger King signs, go for it. Who cares, dude? Just don't be a jerk.
Yeah,
So,
people are
yeah.
jerks about other things. I think I mean, yeah. I think that people I'm trying to think of how to word this. A lot more people are accepting of things that are considered mainstream, where they see that, like millions of dollars went into a Transformers movie. They're more accepting of that. But I think that people do find other things to like let their own aggression out on. Which is unfortunate, and that's like the downside of it. It used to be like, hey, let's make fun of the nerds, but that's not a cool thing to do anymore. So like, what's the next best thing that they're gonna do? They're gonna like nitpick or they're gonna find something to criticize people of.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You
Even
think about like, I think that
There
nerds.
will always be haters. If
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
walks on water, there'll be somebody out there who says that's because he can't swim. There's always going to be haters. Always. I learned that when I was young. So just keep doing what you want to do, whatever makes you happy.
That's
You guys
good.
can keep that. I want you to keep
Moses
that.
part of
Because
this
that
week
is
is he
true
doesn't
life.
like swimming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he
It's
can't
crazy
swim.
because I don't like water too. That's the funny thing.
Oh. No, it's just you're always gonna have haters, like no matter what.
Right.
Like look at Etsy. Like, oh, you're gonna paint some mugs and wine glasses? You're a loser. All right, now they're selling. I have a $500,000 business because of this on Etsy.
Right.
Thank God I didn't
Right.
listen to you. You know what I me? And now people love it. So
Right.
just do your thing. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah,
Just
I
do your
mean,
own
you
thing,
think
don't
about
be a
all
jerk.
those businesses that people thought aren't going to make it, and now who's making
Yeah.
money while everybody else is stuck at home?
Exactly. That's
Those
Right.
those artists.
we allow other people to get in our way of happiness. If you love doing that stuff and you're passionate about it, go for it. There's no
Right.
one stopping you. Literally, no one can stop you.
That's literally
illegal.
why every date I go on, I'm like, just to let you know, I collect toys. No, I'm serious because if it's
So you
I don't-
open with that though?
Actually,
No,
Like,
no.
Oh, I'm
Like,
gonna have a fried calamari.
no,
By the way, I collect toys.
I bring it up because I don't want them to come over and be like, "Whoa, what is all this?" And
I
I
mean,
have to explain it.
I'll
So if
definitely
it's a deal breaker for them in the beginning, then I don't want it like.
Because they might be expecting different kind of toys when they get there.
I mean, maybe I guess.
I would say that though, because if I don't know, I'm not a chick, but if I was a girl and I came home with whatever, and you open your door and I see all this cool collectibles, like I think that's a pretty decent surprise. I would say.
It
Oh, by the
reminds
way,
me.
check out-
It reminds me of that
It's one
meme
of
from
Boston.
50 Shades of Grey. Like, you want to see my torture room or whatever it was, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
open
my
it up, and it's
playroom.
all the Xbox and PlayStation stuff, and
Templar said like the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's got all the
Yeah, I was
stuff in the
thinking
box
that
and she
too.
made him steal
Oh,
the stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Now if you think about that movie when it came out and then think about it now, I feel like there's gonna be a ton of people like getting all cringy while she like tries to make him do all that stuff. Like, no, it's fine, it's okay, just accept what he's into.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kays.
He
I
didn't
don't
say
think
above
you'd be an
average.
average girl. The average girl. Ridiculous.
I think even we're talking about at the very start of this, the difference between nerds and geeks. That was just to get an understanding of the difference in how society and we ourselves individually perceive it. A lot of people might take that to the extreme level and, segregate themselves from those things, being like, oh no, I don't associate with geeks or I don't associate with nerds.
I don't
Yeah,
associate with Star
people-
Trek people, Star Wars only.
Yeah, right? Like the most obnoxious things. And it's like, really?
stupid.
Seriously? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
You're limiting
mean,
yourself. Gross.
Exactly.
I don't associate with Packer fans.
know what-
That's a
I don't
football
know what
thing.
that is. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I used to play rugby
football.
union. I don't know.
it's kind of like rugby, but it's way softer. Rugby's way rougher than football.
Just less equipment in rugby, isn't it? Really?
Bigger,
Like,
bigger,
boils
like
down to-
everything.
Rugby
Scrum.
union has
Um,
no equipment. All he had was shin pads.
Oh, see,
That's
that's awesome.
Exactly.
That's how
But
I
you guys
switched
have health care
my
and stuff. We
neck,
don't have.
Yeah.
True.
One thing that's who mentioned D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
That's
I
big
feel like
now.
Dungeons and Dragons is like when if you talk about like anime or comic books, like those people are like, yeah, I'm kind of nerdy, I like comic books, but then they're like, yo, what about the guys that play Dungeons and Dragons? Even Dungeons and Dragons was too geeky or nerdy for nerds for a long time.
Mhm.
Right.
You're like, oh, I'm a gamer. You're like, yeah, I like to play Dungeons and Dragons. They'd be like, whoa, loser. Like this guy plays Dungeons and Dragons. He rolls dice. That's not like that anymore. I mean, you have people playing. Vin Diesel played Dungeons and Dragons
For years, right?
for,
He's had
for
his character
years
for like
and
20
did
years.
stuff that is like mainstream. There's been popular, like I would say like medieval-ish fantasy movies that have been based loosely off Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know how to
Um,
play it, but I always wanted to play it. It seems so cool.
It's so
I
much
mean-
fun, especially if you like let your inhibitions go and just go with your character.
And the thing
Nice.
is like Dungeons and Dragons is like one thing, but there's like a whole genre of other games that are similar to that. I've definitely played a lot of them. So there's a whole like slew of things, and there's all sorts of different games that might be interesting to some people. But it's mainstream now. You have a lot of people doing it. Critical Role is a huge channel on Twitch on Thursday nights.
Oh,
50,
yeah.
60,000 people watching a live D&D game.
How do you play? Can you teach me how to play? I want to play. Can we do that one night? Teach me how to
It's
play.
so easy.
We'll
It's
do-
so easy. You
we'll
just
do
gotta
a-
remember some stuff, and it's written on a paper anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
fine. We could Roll20
It's-
does it like most of it for you.
Yeah.
Or we could just play Among Us and hate each other for the like 3
Oh, I'm
hours
so
straight.
over Among Us. Oh my god. I'm so done with Among Us.
I am so done with
everywhere.
getting murdered on the first match.
Yeah, it's like
I did the
can't
other
take
day.
it.
It was
I can't
terrible.
take
It
Among
was
Us
terrible.
anymore.
But I mean, yeah. So Dungeons and Dragons is
Yeah, and he sucked on the fun of it, Jakibi. Jakibi is the
Yeah.
worst to play Among Us with.
he is a
He literally
manipulative
is
person.
the
Let me tell you.
worst.
I got murdered
God.
first so many times. And
So
then
Jakibi's the kind of guy. If one person gets murdered, the first round someone gets murdered. Jakibi will accuse whomever And then as soon as the next round starts, he hits emergency meeting and it's like, all right, let's vote him off now. He doesn't even like let you do anything. So
Yeah.
if you get 3 rounds with Jakibi, it's like a long game.
It's because
So
he
it's the worst.
likes to play the odds. Odds are, if we do this by like fourth time around, we'll have gotten them.
You know what, Ken? I'll send you some YouTube videos me and Blue have been watching of people playing Among Us, and it's
Oh my
absolutely
gosh,
hilarious.
It's so funny.
It's so fun.
It can be good with a good group of people. It can be funny and
To
entertaining.
win.
This,
But I think if
this group of
it's
people we've
not
been watching, it's
a good
great.
group, Among Us is
Yeah.
gonna be boring.
No, dude, I want to win, but I also want to like put the cables together, bro. Like, let me just finish one
Yeah.
tab.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna finish
I get
8 tabs.
interrupted one more time.
Jeez.
So who here has played Dungeons and Dragons or like a tabletop game, Baldur's Gate, any of those?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, that's another good one.
That was a great one.
Neo,
I
none
still
of
have, I
those?
still have cards.
I'm
I have so many
apparently-
cards over there.
Apparently, I'm the odd man out.
Do you play
All right.
Pokemon cards or nothing?
I
Oh.
played
good.
Pog. Remember
Oh, that's
Pog?
cool.
Hey.
I
Yeah.
remember Pog.
Still ha-
I
still have that.
Oh wow.
I played
don't get rid of
Magic a
anything.
little bit. I didn't play a lot of
Alright.
Magic. I played like one like here we're gonna go down. So I used to be a camp counselor and I played
Whoa.
Magic the Gathering at camp.
That explains
when I was
the
a camp
mustache.
counselor. Yeah, yes, it does. Thanks.
Does he have the shorts too?
Thanks. And yeah, so I was that in camp champion for chess. So
Wow. You were the
yeah.
champion at chess at camp?
at camp I was like
Oh.
55-1.
But who's counting? Right?
Yeah.
This guy.
The people that beat me, I played a group of people. They all like
Wow, you were that good?
at that time I was really good. I
Oh.
played a lot.
He
And
was
and
playing
and I
like-
was the darts champion.
Darts?
So, yeah,
Oh,
darts.
that's pretty good.
Played a lot of
cool.
darts when I was younger.
You
I
played
I didn't have
9-year-olds.
video games, so we had darts in the basement at my parents' house. Played a lot of darts, so I was playing 9-year-olds. I was playing I actually played
10-year-olds.
most of the people that I played were older than me. I was 14 at the time, and most of the people were like 18 to 21. Some of
And
them
you were their
older.
counselor?
So it was at Boy Scout camp.
Oh, nice.
So I was a counselor when I was younger. That was my summer job.
Were
That
you
was
an
my-
Eagle Scout?
I am an Eagle Scout.
No
talking about-
way. You're an Eagle Scout, dude?
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout. Yeah.
Wow, your name was in the paper.
No, I don't think my parents even cared. They were just like, "Yeah, you made the Eagle Scout.
Aw,
Congratulations!"
Dude,
Like the
anytime
big
you got an
award
Eagle Scout,
ceremony
your
and
name
stuff
goes
to
in
get
the
your Eagle
paper.
Scout. I did not. We didn't do any of that stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, we have to have a ceremony for
You can see the disappointment in his eyes right now.
He's
Yeah,
so
dude.
While he's saying
I
that,
was-
you can see it.
I was a Boy Scout for like maybe a couple months. I got my tenderfoot badge, and then like my last month there was some kid who was like became an Eagle Scout. The newspapers came and they took the pictures, and I just looked up like, yeah, I'm out. I'm never gonna get to that level, so I'm out. And his
my-
name was in the paper and everything. It was great, and his dad was so proud. His dad had so many.
I
badges.
was,
like, dude, that's awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of was a little bit of elitist as a Boy
Mm.
Scout. Like,
oh my god.
You call
I
that
was.
a knot?
I did a really huge involved Eagle project because you had to do like a community service project.
Yeah. What you
to
do?
get your Eagle Scout, and you had to like organize it and carry it out, or find it people to carry it out. And like some people did stuff like paint a fence at the church or whatever it was, like
Boring.
yeah. So for my Eagle project, I convinced a lumber company and a builder to donate lumber, and I built a wild raptor, aka like hawk, eagle, rehabilitation flight cage.
Oh wow.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was like 30 feet long, had to meet all these special requirements for wildlife rehabilitation. And that was years ago, and it still is used to this day.
That is
Wow.
Proud of that.
amazing. See, dude? That's great.
Why are you not in the paper again? I'm confused.
Yeah,
The-
like
my
yeah.
Eagle project was in the paper, but that was before I
You
became
are?
an Eagle Scout.
He was blurred. Just the eagle got the front.
Just the
page.
blurb. Yeah, just the,
Just the
just
crippled
the
hawk.
eagle.
He's like Mike Wazowski. Whenever they take a picture
Yeah.
of him, there's always something in front of him.
Oh, yeah?
Mike Wazowski.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
that's a great thing. That's awesome. Good for you, man.
Hell yeah.
Eagle
That's
Scout
a
in the
huge
house.
project to build as well.
Yeah,
like,
it was a huge
Yeah.
project. So I organized
I
people
wish I was an
and
Eagle Scout.
went there after school and after work, and oh yeah, I finished it like just in the nick of time before I turned 18. Because
Wow.
I could have been done with it at like 13. That's how like did everything, but I wanted to find like the perfect project because I didn't want to do something lame. Because I felt like a lot
Yeah.
of people did lame and they didn't earn their badge like I wanted to earn mine. I did something
Good for-
crazy.
Where's that passion in that? Where's that passion now, dude? You gotta get
he's
that.
in
Get you some of
his
that.
lawn business.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
lawn
Damn.
business.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Dude, my daughter's gonna be an Eagle Scout now. You just
she
solidified
can
it.
be. She can be. It's co-ed
No, she
now,
will be.
so she could
She
be.
will. And she's gonna
Okay.
build a catapult to shoot your rebuilt-in hawks out of the sky.
Wow.
So he has to go back and become a proper eagle and be in the paper.
Recovery and injury. Recovery and injury.
That's it. That's it.
He's so
That's-
mad. Look at him.
I mean, Jesus, that's tough. That's rough. That's rough. I mean, what's more Eagle Scout than building a rehabilitation cage for eagles?
I mean, that's pretty Eagle Scout.
Right.
So,
Hold on. Let's see
Um,
what Google has to say. What?
wow. So,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
attach 5G like pods on eagles and have them fly, so everyone has 5G in the wilderness. I think that's
Did you
Probably
did
better
you-
That's
done
amazing.
than
Did you
pigeons.
talk to the government? You can use their birds.
5G, yeah. Surveillance birds, 5G pods all over the world.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
pigeons, carrier pigeons with 5G.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody patent that. It's my idea. So one more thing that I want to talk about popularity of like nerd culture is conventions
Oh yeah,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
they're money makers, dude.
I think one thing that about the like conventions, I wish that they would have stayed bigger and not branched out to so many little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Mm.
had I mean, Iowa's not a small state, but we're also not huge. And we had WizardCon come.
Mm-hmm.
And the first year it was really good because like it was the first time all these celebrities showed up. But then when they didn't get their turnouts, they stopped showing up like the years
Right.
coming forth. And
Right.
then it was no more. And it's like, oh, if it was Comic-Con, I would have went, but it was WizardCon or, Harry Potter or whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of not with that idea because you have people that can't toss out the money to go ahead and travel out to this big convention and then hotels, flights to drive and all that other kinds of stuff,
Right.
and they can only afford to be able to go to where they're at. Like where we live, we're kind of lucky because a lot of really big stuff happen here.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, even the smaller cons, we have Kamehameha Con go here, I think twice a year or once, something like that, and it's pretty big too. But I mean, it's all over still.
Right.
And plus, you can have that sense of like yeah, you went to this event, and it's not like you could only be there at this one time because it's never going to be there again.
Right.
That's just how I would look at it.
Some people plan around it, like the PAX conventions. People plan.
We were supposed to be there this year,
Right,
and then I was supposed to go to PAX East with you to go meet you and everybody else.
Yeah.
For
What
WoW.
is PAX?
West?
PAX
All right.
is like
I'm sorry.
kinda
Kennedy
like
doesn't know what
TwitchCon.
PAX is, so
like
you
what?
are the weakest link. Goodbye.
It's kind of the same as like TwitchCon, except it's specifically around the video games industry. So
okay.
TwitchCon is about Twitch itself, but
Mhm.
PAX is specifically the games, the developers. A lot of gamers come. There's a lot of
that's
cosplay
cool.
stuff
indie
happening.
game companies.
Yeah, there's a lot of board games.
Board
It's
games
kind
is
of
a
the
big
promotion
thing.
and growth of it.
D&D, huge Magic
Oh,
the
yeah.
Gathering tournaments. A lot of PAX is
Oh.
larger than TwitchCon.
It
What
is.
else what else do we have at Twitch? I mean, manufacturers. Some depending on the PAX. I think PAX Prime or some of the companies will bring some of their newer stuff that's not big enough to launch at like E3. They might announce at PAX. There'll be small gaming tournaments at PAX. There's been really big gaming tournaments at PAX as well. In the past, they did the Halo Championships a few years ago. That was like when all the Halo pros were there. Like Ninja and all of those people were there.
And they're more global. Like there's a PAX happening on every continent, whereas
Right.
TwitchCon, I mean, you have what, 3?
Two.
One.
Two.
There's
And
Diego, there's Amsterdam, and then there's also another
Oh,
one. I think it's
UK.
London.
Yeah, there's
UK.
3. Yeah,
I
it's
thought
just
that was
3.
Amsterdam. I thought that was
Well, that sounds
there's-
cool.
well, because
Yeah.
they have
No, yeah,
Gamescom too in
no.
Europe.
No, I think PAX UK. I think that's
Maybe.
yeah, I think it's just 2 because that one they
Yeah,
had moved that one this year to the UK.
Yeah,
that's what it's
Australia
supposed to be.
has a PAX, but they don't get a TwitchCon, and sometimes they line them up at the same time, and you can only go to one. It's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, I think PAX South had they had some really big Overwatch team this year too that I went to this year. Yeah, this year that I went to.
A couple years ago, they had at PAX East, and I know they've done this at PAX Prime. I think they've done the League of Legends like playoffs at the convention, like the finals or a playoff round at the PAX event itself. Which League of Legends is probably one of the largest esports in the world. So they do get some. I would say they've been smaller events lately because a lot of those big esports kind of have their own league and are doing their own thing. But at a certain point, PAX was the place to be to do all your kind of conventions and tournaments and stuff, as well as your board games, as well as your D&D, as well as your like tabletop Warhammer and all that stuff. So there's a lot of like, and that's a mainstream thing, like, you know, and that's one example. There's like 100,000 people that go through PAX on a given weekend. 100,000 people. That's a lot of people, you know. You've got the biggest convention I think in the world right now is San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like, and Comic-Con's huge. It's comics, it's a little bit of anime, it's a little bit of gaming, primarily towards comics, but it's kind of become everything. It's kind of been more of a melting pot lately. And you've got tons of celebs that go there because it's in California, and you do have actors that are acting in movies, but you have other actors that are into like nerd culture and stuff like that are going to these places. You're getting people like Adrian Curry and stuff like that are. I mean, I'm not saying they're all A-list celebrities, but you got a lot of celebrities that are going to these conventions because they enjoy gaming or D&D or comic books or that kind of thing. So I think that's a huge thing. I did anime conventions for a long time. I did 20 conventions in one calendar year at one point.
Wow.
Damn.
Get it?
You know, and I traveled from Rhode Island, and I went as far as California.
Oh my gosh.
I went to Anime Expo in California that year. I did five conventions in 5 weeks.
Wow.
Which was redonk.
That's
I
crazy.
would have had to rest after that. That's crazy.
That's
Yeah. I went out there. It was crazy. I spent a week in California, came back, and went immediately right to another convention.
Oh,
I would like to do like a nerd shout out for Henry Cavill for making PC gaming and building your own PC like mainstream.
Do y'all know how he got that role of Superman?
No.
Neo, you may know this.
Huh.
You don't know? Sorry to interrupt you on that. This is
No,
a thing. This actually happened. He got a call to be and not to be to go ahead and try out for Superman. He was in the middle of a WoW raid. And he was going to turn it down, and he was like, "You know what? Yeah, I guess I'm going to give it a try." He was in the middle of a WoW raid, huge WoW nerd.
Yeah.
And that's how like that came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, what? No way!" Yeah, no, he was
Dave
actually in the middle of a WoW
Chappelle,
raid.
also big, huge WoW nerd. Like when he stopped the Chappelle show, it was because like creative differences with the cast. Then he was like, "I don't care. I'm just gonna go play WoW. Screw you guys." And he just like played WoW for a long time before he came out and started doing comedy again.
Nice that like he like when he came out and he was building his own PC and Instagram blew up about it. YouTube blew up about it. It is everything. Henry Cavill built his own PC, and then there's plenty of people like me or anybody else that's like, if Superman can build a PC, I bet I can handle it.
I mean, Terry Crews did it too, and he was on Ellen, and they talked
Yeah.
about him like
He's
spending
a-
time
he's
with
a-
his son, learning how to build PCs, and getting
Yep,
into
yeah,
PC
he's another
gaming
big
to spend
nerd
time
too.
with his son.
Yeah, J2 Cents make him a custom PC and stuff. J2 Cents is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look at some of that stuff, and it's pretty cool. You know, events like build a greenhouse, weeding competition for bragging rights, and so much more.
Hey, you guys, you just got that life down. He's talking about working on the lawn.
greenest
right there.
lawn, greenest lawn competition. I will dominate anybody. Come on down, bring it.
Dad
Bring
can
it.
build parallel lines. Like,
It's gonna be a dad off.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, you want to do that? You want to have a mowing competition,
Oh my god.
horticulture competition? No, you guys don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke. It's too much for everybody.
He has those 1987 New Balances waiting to get
God.
broken.
Yeah, yeah,
I think part of the reason that these cons have become more of a melting pot is because if you look at the voice actors for a lot of the animations and video games, they're crossover people.
right.
You know, so you have like um Matt from Critical Role. I mean,
Right.
he started out in animation as a voice
Right.
actor and he did some
Mhm.
basic TV shows and stuff like that, but he transitioned into video games.
Right.
And that's like the crossover happens because that's where the acting jobs
I mean,
are.
look at Mark Hamill. Perfect example.
Right.
You know, everyone's like, oh, Mark Hamill, what happened to him after Star Wars before they did the new ones? Mark Hamill did the voices for like a million different characters in cartoons and video games that you have no idea.
Yep.
He has been Joker in so many different Batman forms of media, whether it's been cartoons, video games, whatever. Like, he has voiced so many things. And that was his thing before he even got into acting, was he wanted to be a voice actor before he became an actor. You
Right.
know? But that's the unsung heroes is the voice actors on cartoons. Is like a lot of people don't give that person credit for doing those voices. Matt Mercer's done so many different things. A lot of those people on Critical Role are all voice actors or actresses or actors. But I mean, I think every single person has been a voice actor in that group. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson disappeared for a couple of years, and where was he? He was doing voice acting roles a whole bunch of the time. For video games included.
one of my favorite actors is Sam Witter. He was the voice of the main character in The Force Unleashed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And he's also Aiden White on Being Human. And I think it was a Star Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he is coincidentally a streamer also.
Yeah.
So like he's,
Really?
voice actor and a video game actor and a TV actor, and he's also streams, and like he is such a down to earth person, and he keeps going with this whole Star Wars thing, and I love it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
One of the first ones that I ever heard of was like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a buff guy, but also huge nerd, like massive into comic books and animes and video games, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And I went-
and I think that's cool when they get those roles. And there's a lot of actors that are out there. And it's funny because some of the younger ones that people automatically think are into like the nerdy stuff, they go on these interviews and they're like, "Well, what got you into this role?" And he's like, "Acting." They're like, "Oh yeah, but were you into like the comic books and stuff when you were younger?" And they're like, No,
No,
and
I
it's
didn't
funny because
either.
it's always like the other people on the set that are a little bit older. They're like, "Oh, dude, Spider-Man, I've got like 12 of the original first 15." And then it's funny because the younger ones that you'd think sometimes would be more into it, I feel like some of the younger actors were jammed so far into like acting school by their parents that it's like it's crazy. They end up with some of these roles and they're really, they get into the culture, but they didn't get them into the culture.
Yeah, like who was it? It was one of the Harry Potter kids, and he was like, I was totally not into any of this, and then so and so got me into reading comics, and he's like, now it's my life.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Damn it!
Damn,
I knew
was
this
that
one
a
too.
Ron or Draco?
I think it was Draco.
Yeah, he was like, it was not at all
Yeah, because I've
anything.
seen him,
And then
like, he's been
bam.
at a lot of, like, the comic conventions and stuff. I've seen him on, like,
Yeah.
YouTube videos where he's there. I mean, think about the fact that some of those people are now... Think about the fact that there's people that are celebrities now. Ninja is I mean, everybody knows... A lot of people know who Ninja is. He's a, I don't know, maybe C or B class celebrity, right? And he's got to start in gaming.
I mean, he was on The Masked Singer.
Than the Masked Singer. So, like, not everybody knows who Ninja is, but he is kind of he's become a household name, and he's doing nerdy stuff. You know, you have some of these people that are becoming more and more popular and being found on media. T-Pain, yep, we talked about T-Pain earlier. I mean, T-Pain's out there. You know who's been streaming a lot is the music artist Zed has been streaming a lot. He's been playing a lot of Valorant and stuff like that. So, but I mean, there's people that are come from gaming and now they have become mainstream. Or there's cosplayers. I mean, there's cosplayers making ridiculous amount of money, and they got their start by going to comic book or anime conventions. And now their livelihood is that as well. It's another example of something different than just streaming and gaming. Yaya Han has her own line of products at Joanne Fabrics and some other craft stores and stuff. I mean, she was a cosplayer. You know, when cosplaying was nothing, you know, she was out there making the costumes and doing what everybody else does now, like networking with people. There wasn't social media and stuff wasn't as big, but she networked with people. And as social media became a thing, I mean, she had her own show on Sci-Fi Channel. Maybe she's been on other shows on like some of those sci-fi and maybe I would say more nerdy type channels. But like now she's got her own mainstream stuff, and she used to sell merchandise at dealers' tables or artist alley at conventions. You know, and now you can go to a retail store and she's got her own shipper full of her product with her picture on the front of it. You know?
Wow.
What's your line of products? I don't understand what Kaze is asking.
Where is your
He did a
line
set
where's your line of products?
NPR.
Custom dad life. New Balances?
I don't know.
New Balance took
Fanny-
it.
New Balance took
fanny
it, I
packs.
guess. So, I mean, there's
Hey,
that.
I got
I
fanny
mean,
packs.
does anybody else
Yeah.
have an example?
But
I
like
mean,
dad life fanny packs with like grass seed in them.
with grass seed.
Oh,
There we
it
go.
comes with custom grass seed?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Got a
And a
connection
mug
to a
holder.
retailer. Support me. There we go.
And a mug holder.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of different things with that. I mean, look at Gordon Hayward and Joel Embiid. They're sponsored by HyperX. Multi-million-dollar athletes sponsored by gaming companies as well.
It's also just trying to get companies to realize that it may be video games, but it may not necessarily be outside of their niche. You know, like you think, oh, only HyperX or only chair companies or only screen monitor companies or only camera companies are allowed to be
Right.
part of video gaming. It's like, what are you guys talking about? There's people
Right.
out there doing cosplays, which need fabrics, which need this, which need that. Travel companies, like,
Right.
there's
I
not
mean,
enough diversification because no one's able to sell it to them and say, hey, actually, maybe you should look at this company because it associates similar to
look
what
at
you
some
do.
of the sponsors now. You're starting to see like insurance companies and stuff get involved with things, you know, like sponsoring streamers like State Farm and I think Allstate. And I think it's a smart move for them because guess what? Like, you know, do you have $10,000 worth of electronic equipment in your apartment? We do apartment insurance, right? Like,
Right.
Who was it? NordVPN is with a lot of Apex streamers. Also,
VPNs. So yeah, I mean, I think that there are other companies that are realizing that Just because we're nerds doesn't mean we need something different. Like meals. Look
Yeah.
at all the look at all like the Freshlies and meal companies and stuff that are using streamers to push their meals now. Like, hey, you want meal prep for the gym? Well, what about meal prep because you want to be gaming and don't want to be cooking your food?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Um,
Right.
Guilty.
So I think there's a lot of that stuff.
It's kind of
Um,
that old-fashioned narrow-mindedness of companies, I think, where they sort of think, oh, it's always been done this way or whatever. It kind of gets into the culture and makes it hard to change it until someone steps up into the higher role.
annoying.
And says, actually, this is possible.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
I think more clothing companies is going to be a thing that I think we're going to see soon.
I see that in my business all the time. Everyone scoffed at streaming. Oh, streaming is whatever. And now every news station has a streaming network.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
It just took a major pandemic to show you that it's a requirement.
It just drives me nuts because there's a lot of old dinosaur people in this industry, and they're just like, they just don't get it. And it's like there's some, I don't know, I'm a reporter, so you guys probably know that, but there's like some reporters who are coming in like, oh, I want to be an anchor on television. I'm like, dude, why don't you be an anchor on a digital platform? Why don't you be a streaming anchor or a reporter
Right.
for a website? Like, that is where it's at. Nobody used to talk about TV.
Right.
No one's watching.
I mean, who?
Yeah.
Out of anybody here or chat, how many people feel like they want to get their news? Would you rather get your news from an independent reporter, doing their own thing and researching stuff, or do you get your news from like a news network? I mean,
100% people get their shit mainstream. Not 100%, just 9. Like probably about 98% of probably the United States gets their stuff from probably mainstream
how many people?
media.
How many people still read the newspaper and watch the news nightly?
It's all these older generation people are doing
Yeah.
it. The younger, us millennials and lower, like we get our news from our phone. Like we have Apple News, we have our apps that we follow, we have our little pseudo
Right, but
bubbles that we
even
just
like
make sure we're
Apple
in.
News
but-
is pushing stuff from like Dexter Co and stuff like that now. You know,
Yeah,
if,
well,
if
it
that's what
depends.
trends
It depends
on your metric.
It depends on your history. Like
Right.
like as soon as you open Safari, obviously Apple knows the data you're going through every website and stuff. So like if like currently I'm getting a whole bunch of Apple news on Sony digital cameras because I was shopping around for Sony digital cameras. But it just takes those analytics from your whatever. And it
Right,
custom
but I think that
builds your feed.
it's opening other means to getting your news based off of what your preferences are. So I
That's
think
dangerous,
that
by the way. That's super dangerous.
It
Like making
is.
your little pseudo bubble is super dangerous.
Oh,
Like
I agree.
after the debate, I had my iPad open on MSNBC and the TV on Fox News just to hear both sides and see how they thought the debate went. And I was just like, all right, it's good that I did this because this is totally
Right, 'cause
Right.
this is whatever it is.
everything
Yeah, this is
everything
whatever it is.
is
Right.
has an angle.
Yeah.
And
So like,
I really don't like when people sort of niche themselves into within like a pseudo bubble
Yeah.
and think, oh yeah, I have all the information. I'm sorry, have you listened to both sides? Because I don't think
no one ever does. No one.
no one ever
and
does. They're like, oh,
no
we're
matter
okay.
no matter how thin the pancake, there's always two sides. Remember that.
That's
Got a
amazing.
million metaphors.
That's great. Do you use
Are-
that on the journal?
I tell that to people when they
They-
come to me like, "Oh, you're only getting one side," and I go, "No matter how thin the pancake, there's always two sides."
Right.
Oh my god. I have
It's true.
opinions.
The
on
other side
stuff.
is sheep. Oh my
and no matter what side you're on, the other side is always sheep,
Right.
or cult.
the most ridiculous thing.
I'm not a fan of pancakes.
Well, guess
Oh,
what,
no.
alchemist? There's two sides
Some
to a
pancakes
waffle
are hard
too.
to swallow, bro. They're dry. They're not sweet. They go down
Waffles.
hard.
Waffles is where it's at.
Oh, you know what? I don't
What's
like
this-
French toast. I don't like French toast. I don't like sausage.
What?
Mm.
Oh.
My
French toast
brother-in-law
is superior
loves
to
French
pancakes
toast.
and waffles.
No, waffles
Yes.
is king, then pancakes, then French toast.
Let's go ahead and flip the waffle. Let's go flip the French toast and the pancakes on that one.
What, you think French toast is superior to pancakes?
Depends
Yes.
on who's making the French toast because there's a big difference between American French toast and European French toast. Let me just put it out there.
Oh,
What's the
And
difference?
French toast.
And I get to experience it at home because she will make it for me.
Nice. So wait, what's the
So
difference? between
tell me,
French
what's the
toast and
difference?
French
What's the
toast?
difference?
I don't
Quick
know
tangent.
yet.
Yeah,
We haven't had French toast breakfast yet, huh?
Because we've been on this ridiculous, strict bodybuilder diet.
Okay, fine then. We'll have French
Chicken
toast
and
for dinner.
marine.
We'll have French
Oh,
toast for dinner.
so
You're making
Oh,
French toast
dude,
for
breakfast for dinner is
But-
so good.
dinner. You're making French toast.
We need to get bread then. We have no bread in
Do
this
you
house.
Oh,
still call it
Jesus.
French toast,
Fuck.
or do you just say we're having toast for dinner?
I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. All right.
that would be mind blowing. Like
In
we're having
Brazil,
toast for breakfast.
in
Wait,
the
what's the
Balkan
salty
fulfillment.
syrup stuff then?
All right. Does anybody else here have any question, anything that we missed that you want to talk about?
No.
Sorry, you guys
I
got
mean-
engaged. Anyway, so how'd you do it?
Oh my
Jeez,
god.
have you been waiting this whole time
I've
for
been
this?
waiting the whole time. I love.
All right.
hearing
I'll be
these
right back.
stories.
Thank you for the resub, Penguin.
So wait,
Oh
first
my
off, how long
God.
were you guys together? Dating?
I think we've known each other for coming up on the 3 years, I think.
Okay, how long were you dating?
Let's say like officially like this year.
1
Yeah.
year?
But yeah.
And you proposed? When?
Last Saturday.
Nice. How'd you do it?
She
Over
had
French toast?
she had no
Yeah.
clue. I'll tell you that right now.
I had no
Really?
idea. Yeah, because it was all a lie. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like he said, we're gonna go to our friend's place. They're having a wedding anniversary. Lie. I found
Nice.
out later after the proposal.
So
I didn't
everybody
know.
else knew except her.
Everyone knew. My down there.
Wait, you did it in
so-
front of people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, what'd you do?
Yeah, so all right. So I told her, I was like, "Hey, we're gonna be going over to a friend's house. I guess they're celebrating their anniversary. They just want some friends to come over and just do a little something, and then that's gonna be it." I was like, "So dress up a little nicer, I guess. I don't know." So we did that. Went over there, did our thing, and so originally there was supposed to be a cake that said, "Will you marry me?" But when my friend pulled it out to show me, the people that he ordered it from didn't put that on there. It's like, well, oh wow, that was like an additional thing. But I went ahead and commissioned somebody to pay for a painting that had some of our favorite anime characters right there. That's it right there.
Wow.
So
Oh, dude, so good.
that's Inosuke and Nezuko from Demon Slayer. And so it was near the end of the night, and they were like, all right, we're just gonna go ahead and he said that they were gonna go ahead. He said he pulled out the cake. Was like, all right, here goes some cake. We're gonna go, thank you all, da da da. And I was like, look, all right, I just gotta go ahead and do this right now. I was like, hey,
Brought out this
so-
box, and I'm like, in the middle of
I
the
was like,
wedding anniversary. What are you?
she's
doing?
she's
This
thinking
is
right
so
now.
good.
She's still thinking at this point that it's their anniversary. And I
Still
was like,
mad.
hey, I got this for you. I just want you. I really want you to open it, and I want everybody else to see this because it's really important and it's just special. And so then she's opening it. She goes, "Why would you do
I was
this?
like,
This is
"Now?"
like proposing during somebody's wedding." And I was like, it happens. So then, so this whole time she's opening it, she's just like, she's thinking in her head, why this is embarrassing, da 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 da. She's verbally saying, how dare you do this during somebody else's anniversary? And then she opens it, she looks at it,
The other guy's going with it. He's like,
And
yeah, I can't believe what's going on here. I'm like,
and she's looking at it, and she opened it, she still doesn't get it.
I'm staring at it like,
And I'm just like, and then
nice.
she says it again, and she says it. She goes, "It looks nice," and I was like, and she goes, "But during their anniversary," I go, "Look, it's not their anniversary," and she didn't still get it. So then my friend was like, "It's our anniversary was last month," so boom, it hit her.
oh no, I'm
And
still
then-
looking at it like, why did he bring this out? This is so weird.
Uh-huh. Did you see what the picture was? Like the guy proposed?
Yeah,
yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm just like, I mean, it's nice. They never did this in the show.
She
but I was
she never got it. She never understood it. So then she
like,
had.
being on his knee. I'm like, oh,
My
It finally hit her. But that whole time, she was just for like 5 minutes. She was like, "During their anniversary, this is so embarrassing. Why would you
That
do
is
this?"
so
Da 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 da.
funny.
Should have married me on your forehead.
It might have got it.
That's awesome. And she said yes, obviously, and you guys had a cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's two super awkward videos of me like I'm being really cocky about it too. Like how dare you? Look at this cat. This ass over here.
Can't wait.
funny.
Can't wait for that like post wedding video of like,
Oh
how did we get here
yeah.
today? I can't believe you.
They were like, "How do you feel?" And I was like, "Betrayed." All of you
Oh my
knew.
Yeah, she did say that. Yeah, she actually did say
I'm
that.
gonna redo that video and just put like the "nani" into it every so often when my
You, you want to hear the biggest kicker? The day
Yeah.
before, she did a podcast with a friend of hers, and her friend knew about it the whole time.
didn't say anything. No, nothing.
No hints, no nothing. Those are good friends. Those are good friends. Those are the ones you keep around. The ones that can
Yeah.
keep secrets from you.
awesome. How'd you
That
guys
was a good story.
Video games.
Congratulations, you
A
friend.
guys.
What game?
friend. Well, it was a mutual friend of ours,
I
and
was trying to learn to play Destiny. I'm not very good at it.
yeah, but so she plays Dead by Daylight, and she actually got me into Dead by Daylight, but she thought I was just this big
Yeah.
meathead,
He looked like a big
boring streamer, and then like a big stupid meathead. That's what she tells me all the time.
Yeah.
She does
And
not.
then
She does
one
not
day
let that go.
was playing some anime music on his channel. I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Nice.
Yeah, I won't forget. She said she was putting away clothes, and then it was actually the Tokyo Ghoul song, from the intro song, and she's like, "Wait, what? What is that?" And she stopped what she was doing and started listening to it, and she's like, "Okay, this is different.
This
What is
weird.
this? This isn't a thing."
There's someone paid bits for him to listen to this, so I just kept watching to make sure.
All right,
Yeah.
so anime music next stream. That's what I'm playing.
That's what gets them. That's the paid magnet.
That's what gets it. That's what gets it.
the original Naruto outro. Dude,
No.
that'd be good too. No, that's it. Somebody send me a sick anime playlist. I've actually listened
Try
to
to get some
Bebop
chicks.
on the stream. Goodness. Well, good for you guys. Really happy for you.
Congratulations, guys.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Man,
So-
nuts.
Did you already
Fuck.
have 2 dogs, or is one hers?
One's hers.
It's mine.
And you have a dog?
Yeah, she's got. I have one already. I've
Do they
had.
get
She's
along?
been with me. Yeah, they get along. She's
Oh,
been
yeah.
with me for almost. She's been with me for 3 years.
Almost 4.
Yeah.
She's turning 4, right?
What's the
Yeah,
dog's
she's
name?
34. This one's Lilith, and the other one is Nyx.
Nyx.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we
look
actually
at that.
went
He's got
to
one right
the-
there too. He's got a cat.
I was
What's the
gonna say,
cat's name?
Casey.
Hazy?
Casey.
Oh, Casey.
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 Hold on, let me get my pet.
You have,
Hey,
you have 2 cans.
it's a lawnmower. Oh,
Oh my
for
god.
walks.
Here's my shoe.
Well, it was either I pick her up or she's gonna sit at my feet and meow the entire time, and everybody's just gonna hear her going meow, meow, pick me
Oh,
up.
gosh.
Nice.
It's like I heard you talk about dogs.
The other one is she's right there,
Oh, on the bed,
big McFatty
sleeping
back there.
sleeping.
Fat cats.
Nice.
There's nothing more American than fat
Fat
cats.
cats. Garfield, the OG fat cat. There we go.
Yeah, right.
I'm not a big cat person, but I know a lot of people who like cats.
Yeah, French toast isn't meant to be soggy.
Yeah, dude, it's always soggy and gross.
I don't know
maybe
where
I'm
you're
not having
going.
it right.
What? Yeah,
I'm having
who's
it
cooking
right.
your French toast?
So, all right, it's on record, I guess. But my brother-in-law, like every time we go on vacation with like the family and stuff, he always wakes up
French
early and
toast.
makes this soggy, flippin' French toast, and it's gross. It's like imagine you took bread and you made an omelet, and then you threw the bread in the trash, and then you waited till later in the day, and you threw the egg in the trash, and then you waited overnight, and then you took the bread back out of the trash after having a party, and then put it on a plate and sprinkled some cinnamon on it. That's your French toast. It's like the soggiest, nastiest thing.
Do you say
Yes.
that, man? You know how many parties I've been to? I can own. That's all I think about is just the trash cans of beer and liquor. It's
soupy.
like that's so that. Yeah, I
Put
just
a bread in it, let it soak up for the night.
That's it, dude.
Put it next to some
That's
scrambled
it.
eggs, and you're on a family vacation with me.
That's
Like,
On a
it.
family vacation. All right.
I don't have the heart to tell him because he loves it, but I'm just like, this is not for me.
I know what he does. He cooks the French toast on too high of a heat, so he has to pull it off before it cooks all the way through.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
Does
know what
he
he
does he have a tendency to burn everything else that he makes too?
No, I mean he makes everything fine. Like it's not spectacular, it's not bad, it is fine. But the French toast is gross. And that's another thing. My wife, we have non-stick pans, but every time she makes eggs, the pans get destroyed. Like I can't scrape off the egg from these pans. And like when I make eggs, I could flip them, I could do whatever. The pan's clean, but when she makes eggs, I don't know what she does. It's like his French toast. Like I don't know what you do in the kitchen to make it so wrong. But
They're
something
putting-
happens.
They're putting glue on the pans to make it extra sticky.
Ugh, I don't know what. And I'm like a big breakfast guy. I like to make shakes in the morning, or like I'll have like spinach omelet with some crazy stuff inside. So I love a good breakfast, and can't have it.
Get that good. Omelets are great.
I used
You
to
can
work
put
in a
anything in an
restaurant
omelet.
that made breakfast food all day. So
Really?
the fact that you get soggy French toast really kind of hurts my feelings. 'cause
Oh my god.
See, it's weird.
it's so easy to make.
Yeah, throw your
Yeah.
mattress in the Hudson and then cover it in butter. That's what I get.
Right.
That's what I get. It
So
sucks.
disgusting, dude.
Zombie!
bigger.
No,
It's just
Okay.
bad. It's
So your
What you're
next
keeping on
your
there. I
next
was trying to
get
well,
together,
I was
just
like trying
invite
to find
me
people
over,
that were like
Yeah.
me.
and I'll just wake up and make breakfast.
I gotta sit him down and tell him if I know it's gonna crush him. I know it's gonna crush him. Be like, listen, I'm gonna name him Matt. Your French toast is the worst I've ever had in the history of the
I
planet.
mean,
You're actually destroying. You're ripping this family apart, toast by toast, slice by slice.
See, you don't even have to say it to his face. Just send him this clip.
I'm just
That's it.
There you
it's
go.
on the record.
All
He
right.
makes everything else fine though.
I'm gonna wrap it up here. Before we go, give everybody a chance here. I'm gonna rely on you guys to post your own social medias in chat because no one filled out my survey because I was gonna do
Oh.
it for you guys.
We'll do them next. We'll do them now, and then, like I said, it'd be good to have them for the next time.
So, Neo, what are you gonna be up to this coming week or 2 weeks before the next podcast?
So tomorrow I won't be streaming because I'm going to Oktoberfest,
Nice.
and
Oh yeah, we gotta look into that.
yeah,
Look into what?
Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll be,
Yeah,
I'll
go
be
ahead.
doing adult beverage things tomorrow, so I won't be in the condition to come home and stream.
So
But,
I can expect you in chat
Yep,
at like
yep.
11:30.
And then Sunday, I will stream. I normally take Sundays off, but I'll stream on Sunday to make up for not being around tomorrow. Probably Sea of Thieves because there is more content that's coming out and I need to get stuff done. And I'm going to continue to play scary games for as long as I can handle it. So
What's
cool,
the scary game
cool.
you're playing now?
Emily wants to play.
That sounds
Nope. Nope.
terrifying. That sounds
Nope.
terrifying.
I played it
Any
for
art
an-
streams coming up?
Yes, I actually have a commissioned piece I have to do for one of my viewers who just sent me the details of what they want. So we'll be
Nice.
cranking that out probably Wednesday.
Awesome. So guys, if you aren't already following Neo, go give him a follow on Twitch. I posted his link in the chat.
Yes, and it is Neo versus Smith for literally everything.
It's Neo
Twitch-
versus Smith for
Twitter,
everything. He's that
Brandon.
guy.
Good branding.
All right. How about Ken? Ken already plugged his YouTube. Go sub to his YouTube. Ken's
sub
got
right
some
now, you
fantastic YouTube content.
I make
Ken, you gonna
YouTube
be
content.
doing much Twitch streaming?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stream on Tuesday when the cross-platform comes to Apex Legends, so I can whack all these little Xbox and console players.
Did you see about that?
Yeah.
How you're able to? The only way you're able to go ahead and actually do the crossplay,
Is if
you
they enable
have
it?
to. You have to have somebody in your lobby, in your party, that is on another platform. So if you're on PC for you to play console, you have to have an Xbox or PS4 person in your party. If not, then you're gonna be sent to PC. Same thing for console. If they don't have a PC person in their party, they're gonna be stuck with console and not go
Yeah.
to PC. But if they
Well,
do have PC, they'll go to PC.
my buddy who's really bad on Xbox is the one I'm going to be playing with, so I can just show you. He's so bad.
I was gonna say, I kind of felt like I watched the light drain out of your eyes there for like half a second.
No. I was going to say I have a PS4 over there. I'll just log in there and play on my PC, put myself in my own lobby, and just
That's it right there.
give him work.
There
So
you
on
go.
Tuesday, I'm going to do that. And then I'm also making a bunch of YouTube videos because I ordered those lights. So I'm going to show you how you could save almost $80 by going with the newer LED lights rather than the Elgato key light. So
Nice.
that'll be up this week.
Yeah,
as well.
I heard that Ken has some really good ideas for some future videos coming up.
Very good ideas.
his-
Very good ideas.
He's got a
I'm at
a
20 I'm at
fantastic
2,500
think,
subs.
think tank.
I made $14 this month off of YouTube. So Ninja,
There you go. Better
Check
than
it out.
nothing. Better than
Exactly.
nothing.
best check I ever got.
Hey, that pays for at least 60% of those lights that you just ordered.
There you go. Mm-hmm. You see that?
There you
Man,
go.
I just did a video with the microphone company Deity. They sent me a mic and I reviewed it. So that was cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that up? Is that video up yet?
Yeah, it's up. It's up, but it's long. Kind of
Oh.
boring.
Well,
'cause
don't
the
watch
mic's
it
not
'cause
that
it's
great.
long.
Sorry, Deity.
And Ken doesn't want to hit $25 next month.
All right, fine. Go
14's
watch it.
good.
And click on all the ads and then go to my Amazon affiliates and buy something big.
Nice.
All right, thanks, Ken. Jim, what are you up to? I know you're back gaming and back streaming. I think you got a podcast coming up this weekend, right?
Oh yeah, I do have a podcast coming up on. There goes all my stuff. I do have a podcast coming up on Sunday. It's I went ahead and did my first one last 3 weeks ago on fitness. Most of mine will be geared more around fitness stuff for people that are new, young or old to the fitness world. And they will also incorporate some gaming stuff at the same time too. YouTube is not really kicked off so much. Just really was having a plan to do some videos here and there, but really just haven't. Let me be honest, I'm being lazy about it. And this one over there, I subbed Sears. I want to see these stuffs because I want to update things. She gives me a lot of shit for being lazy about it.
Yeah, I do.
What's it called? I do stream Dead by Daylight 3 days a week usually. I did take some time off because I did get injured. What else? Yeah, this Sunday is gonna be it's gonna be really, really good. November we will be hitting off with a mental health and gaming podcast to start off for the Stack Up organization streams and for the charity event for the month. So we're gonna be looking forward to that. There's gonna be quite a bit of stuff for that, giveaways, this and that, and more pies in the face, just like the one that I got put in my face last night. That Blue went ahead and did. Yeah, she did it on
Awesome.
stream.
Can't wait for Blue Spy.
Yeah.
All
Also, I'm a Gamer Subs partner. Should go ahead and do code mouse. Maybe if we get these back in stock, you can go and get yourself some Uwu shaker cups.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Awesome, guys. Go follow Jim on all of his stuff. Yo, Itzy, what's going on? You just popping in. It's on. But we're on our way out. It's on our way out. So Blue.
Yes.
Where we can I just did the Twitch. That's where you can find Blue.
Right,
At least
my-
on Twitch.
There we go. There you go. There's mine. I gotta get back into doing the TikToks. I was doing a couple of them at the moment. I'm probably gonna be streaming tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. Is that the time zone we're in? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
Central.
Central Time.
So is that like 5 p.m. ish? Because I'm an ish kind of person myself.
Yeah, I'm an ish kind of person too. I mean, I'm just trying to get back into it after moving here, so settling has been a struggle. But the other platforms, I'm usually on Twitter and Instagram a lot. But apart from that, yeah, just trying to find a new way of doing things. I think
Yeah,
restructuring. Yeah,
restructuring. 'Cause
yeah, because the
you've been
move
away
from
for a while, so now's the time to
America,
kind of do it, right?
yeah, it's like this is a perfect timing.
Good. That's
Blue
good.
OnlyFans. It'll all be Moose's feet. That's all.
All of my feeds.
Only feet.
Videos of his feet.
Onlyfeet.com. Come
Only
into
feet.
a web page near you as soon as I get somebody to program that for me. So for me, again, I've been streaming a lot less lately. Work's been crazy for me. And I got a little guy at school, so that's been a little taxing. And I haven't been sleeping worth a crap, so there's a lot of days where I'm just too tired to stream. It kind of feels bad, but probably about 6 more weeks of me being busy. What can you expect from me? Some Tarkov streams, some whatever gaming streams. Maybe we've kind of mixed some stuff up. I played some Apex. I played some League of Legends on stream lately. Almost getting some, stuff in there. Variety streaming. Like I claim to be a variety streamer. But definitely some more Tarkov for sure. And then we'll be doing another podcast here in hopefully about 2 weeks. Maybe we'll be doing something a little spooky. On stream. Well, to wrap everything up, hold on. Did you, hold on, I do have the... If you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, you can. And on the tweeters. And on the
Is your
YouTubes.
TikTok just videos of you and your New Balances mowing lawns? Because that would be amazing.
No, you know what? I need to up the TikTok game. I'm not on the TikTok deal like real hard yet, I think TikTok's tough. I feel like TikTok, even though it seems like it's real short, I feel like good TikTok videos are highly edited. Is where Instagram can just be like a candid or whatever content you want to share. So those are my socials. If you guys want to follow those, I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that came and stopped by and to the podcast tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Everybody that followed and resub, guys, I appreciate it. Neo, Ken, Jim, Blue, thanks again for coming on. It wouldn't be a podcast without you guys. Really love having you guys on. It was awesome. Blue, thank you for coming on. It's your first time
Thank you for having
coming
me.
on the podcast. I hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good enough time to the point where maybe you'd like to come back in the future. Baby, come back.
Oh my god,
back
that's
to
my brain,
me.
man.
Maybe you can do an Excel stream next time.
Yeah, we'll line that one up. That will be keeping it Excel or keeping it analytics or something. I don't know. Special edition. We'll get Kaze in here. Ken. Maybe we'll find a couple other people in chat.
It'll be
we'll
a
bring them in.
celebration.
Yeah. Wow. Good one, Ken. You can tell he's working on his dad jokes.
That's
So,
amazing.
again, everybody, thanks for coming. We're gonna go on a little raid action here. I think here in a minute. Hold on. I had it and now it's gone. Where'd it go? Probably should have.
Mouse, how much weight was on you when it tore? Like 255?
I was able to bench 285 with ease.
So what was it? How much was it?
Just over 300 pounds.
For how many?
Just the one.
Oh,
Like I said, previous injury in the chest. Just decided to say it was enough.
Yeah.
100's a
Yeah.
lot. What do you squat?
That's rough.
I don't know. I don't really do much squat for weight anymore. I stopped powerlifting years ago after I almost had a hernia.
You ever do CrossFit?
I won't do CrossFit.
I think CrossFit is anti-bulking.
I don't have no. You can do CrossFit and still get big. I just don't have a. I have good mobility. I just don't have a want to do all of that.
My chiropractor and kinesiologist said big no, unless he wants to see me there every week or so because it's high injury. So
Yeah.
That too. It's very high
3
injury,
clip
especially
bits
where
to
you're
my
at.
back and 2 in my neck. It's a no.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm going to
All
the
right.
gym after this, so
So
There you go.
I had somebody that we were gonna raid, and they went offline. So
Do you need
Uh,
somebody?
I think we're just gonna.
Ace is on, Buns is on, Omnicus is on.
I think we're gonna raid Miss Barbie.
Okay. Oh yeah, she's doing Roblox.
Yep. So we're gonna raid Miss Barbie, who's been on the
PG
podcast a
PG
bunch.
stream, right? PG stream.
It's
Yep.
family night. I mean, it's not necessarily super PG, but don't go in there, with a bunch of
F it all up.
emo phallic symbols. So guys, go show Miss Barbie some love. She's been a regular on the podcast in the past. Show her some love. She's playing some Roblox. I think she'll probably play something else later, possibly. Even if you're not into Roblox, she's mad chill and mad entertaining to watch. So just show her some love from us here on the podcast. We will see all of you here again in about 2 weeks. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Order the
Later.
French toast.
French,
Yeah.
French toast.